Hello, it's Frogs, and we'll be doing some more Henchman Story today. I broke my headset. The side where the microphone is still works, the other side, doesn't go over my ear. I've been looking for work and interviewing at places, so waiting for a cheapish headset to come in. So, yeah. So no streams for a little bit. Anyway, let's do some more Henchman Story where I last left off. It was issue 4. We have just become a Uber-like model company, but for henchmen. And this is my character, Stan. Huh? I managed to open my eyes just enough to see my clock. It's an hour before my alarm's set to go off, and some asshole is knocking at my door. A whole hour of precious sacred sleep gone, taken before its time. If I had the energy, I'd go rip whoever it is a new one. But since I don't, I just roll out of bed and waddle wearily toward the door. Yeah, just a second. I throw on my t-shirt on the way there, and when I arrive at the doorway, I slam my fist on the control panel with contempt. Of course, it's Dave. I should have expected the beaming smile that greets me, but that doesn't stop me from grimacing at the sight. Good morning, Stan. Gosh, it sure took you a while to get up. Oh! It took a while. Dave, we don't have assembly for like 1,000 years. Why are you even here? Actually, Stan, that's the thing. You don't have assembly today. Here, this is at your door. Dave hands me a small note. I rub the sleep from my eyes as I read it aloud. Henchman number 65. In light of our administrative changes and our integration of Henchcan program, you are scheduled to receive an in-depth review of your recent performance today. Arrive in room 243B no later than 8:30 a.m. Failure to comply will have dire consequences. Yikes. That seems a little over the top. It's over the top for Lord Bedlam, anyway, but it certainly fits Kate's description of Madame Scorpion. Wait, if this was just posted here this morning, how did you know to come wake me up? Oh, I didn't! Mine's not until tomorrow, but I figured there was a slight chance you might have an early review, so I just wanted to make sure you were ready anyway. Better safe than sorry, right? What's wrong with you? That's unintentionally helpful. Thanks for having my back. Yeah, for sure. Very, super thorough of you. Thanks for the heads up, man. Hey, what else are supervisors slash buddies for? Probably like a whole litany of things, but I'll assume this is somewhere on the list. Anyway, I'd better get ready. Hold down the fort for me while I'm gone, alright? Will do. Go get him, buddy. Oh, thanks. As Dave leaves, I close the door and sigh in relief. That boy's just not all there. Well, that boy ain't right. Hank Hill. Handling him takes a lot more energy than I've got this early in the day. Tell me about it. I look longingly at my bed. I probably have time to squeeze in a little more sleep, but since I'm already up, it's not worth the risk. Oh, that's always the number one thing that goes wrong for me. Getting back in bed when I have to do something. May as well just go ahead and hit the showers. After showering, changing, and spending several long minutes trying to stave off a general sense of impending doom, I make my way to room 243B. While I've never been to that room specifically, the meeting's in, I'm familiar enough with the area. It's the Lairs administrative section, so unless you work for HR, you generally don't want to be here too often. As I round the corner, I spot my destination just down the hallway, with its door wide open. Okay, Stan, you've got this. No sass, no talk back. Or no back talk. Just get it over with. Well, this is fancier than I expected. Not that the bar is all that high. I mean, our break room couches hail from curbsides across America, so clearly this isn't Lord Bedlam's doing. Well, yeah, I mean, the scorpion's like right there. Yeah, obviously. Yeah, that's what I said. I guess the giant scorpion on the wall makes that pretty obvious. Not to mention the room's sole occupant. Now she's hot. Ah, henchman number 65. You're 3 minutes early. How unusually punctual of you. Unusual? No. I'm Mr. Punctual. That's me. I just love being on time. She doesn't believe me. Look at her. Not according to our records. Or your late departure from the scene of Wednesday's operation. Oh, right. That thing. Thanks for the save, by the way. I wasn't looking forward to another beating from Miss Dynamo. I have a feeling she was gonna break something this time. Nothing of it. That child is like a barking dog, loud but stupid. Dealing with her was no trouble at all. So, if you'd like to thank me, be on time from now on, will you? Sure thing. Oh, wait, by from now on, do you mean at other meetings with you? Because I sort of thought this was going to be a one-time thing. I mean, well, why would you want to meet with just me? I'm just... Have a seat, Stanley. Oh my. Yes, ma'am. There are 2 chairs in front of Madame Scorpion's desk. I quickly take a seat in one of them. For her part, Scorpion stays standing, preferring to slowly stalk about the room. Oh! I really wish he'd stop. It's not hard to fidget with her. Wait, it's hard not to fidget with her looking at me like that. Don't fret. This isn't about your punctuality. In fact, you're quite average in that regard. The henchmen here tend to be late in general. But you know that, don't you, Stanley? After all, you've been here for years, haven't you? Yeah, that's right. I'm, what you might call a seasoned veteran. An experienced, loyal henchman, henchmanist. So you are. And how many promotions have you earned in your long and illustrious career? Technically? Oh, you know, about, 0-ish? Not ish. Just 0. You have had 0 promotions. Well, I mean, I receive some pretty good compliments every now and then. That's kind of the same thing, right? No. No, it is not. Ugh. This would be going a lot better if she asked questions she didn't already know the answer to. I can't prevent the fidgeting at this point, and Scorpion seems to notice. She stops pacing and leans back against the desk in front of me. Oh, Stanley, don't be so nervous. You're not in trouble. That's why we're having this meeting in my office. You're not gonna fire me, are you? And where would we be if I were in trouble? Somewhere where I could be more persuasive. Oh, well, that sounds less fun, I think. Certainly for you, Stanley. But then again, I have a feeling you have quite the pain threshold. Huh? Sure. What makes you say that? Deductive reasoning. You've been a henchman in the Bedlam organization for well over 5 years with no promotions, no arrests, and minimal injury leave. Barring promotion, the average henchman career is 8 months. Why do you think you've lasted so much longer? Let's see, Lord Bedlam's leadership, my dashing good looks. I work smarter, not harder. My dashing good looks. Well, obviously, I'm way too charming and handsome to get taken down by your average cape and cowl type. I mean, you know how it is. I'm afraid I don't. Enlighten me. Really? No heroes ever looked at you and gone, you know, I was planning to suplex you through that car door over, or through that car over there, but I could never harm someone so fine. Are we flirting with her? Because that happens to me all the time. I can't tell if you're puffing up your ego or trying to flatter me or attempting career suicide. I can't tell if I'm looking in her eyes, and I can't tell if that look in her eyes means she's amused or wants to peel off my skin, but screw it. Just like with Chef Antonio, I've committed to the sass. There's no going back. Well, you seem to be encouraging, forthrightness? Forthrightness? What? And I told you to relax. Wait, what? And I also told you what would happen if you got in trouble. Maybe I'm into that? Hey, yo, what the? Oh, no. Oh, shit. I took the joke too far. Jesus Christ, Dan, what's wrong with you? Okay, let's poke the possibility unstable murder magnate with a stick and see what happens. Great idea! Oh man, she's got that look again. This time she's definitely going to stab me. Oh, trust me, Stanley, you're not. You're really, really not. You know, I'm gonna take your word on that one. You're the expert, and the boss. The expert boss, so just... no need to demonstrate, okay? Oh shit, she's coming closer. I find myself leaning back in my seat involuntarily. Scorpion leans closer. Then all of a sudden she retracts. Huh? Oh, Stanley, darling. Didn't I already tell you that you weren't in trouble? She likes to make me flinch, I think. But after that sorry display, I think we can safely conclude that your charm, such as it is, isn't what's kept you out of the body cast, don't you agree? That's a reasonable assumption, yeah. And as for your looks, well, handsome or not, they won't do you any good in that uniform of yours. Purple is just not your color, Stanley. Huh? Damn, she's doing like a full takeover, I think. I don't know. After taking a moment to look me up and down, Scorpion shakes her head in disapproval and resumes her stalking. Man, I can't tell if this tension is the deadly kind or something else. Maybe I should just assume she's toying with me 100% of the time until proven otherwise. Seems safer. Sorry, I had to sneeze. Here's the point, Stanley, and do keep this in mind. The Scorpion Group's been observing this organization for months now. We know everything about it, including you. Why me? And with that knowledge, you're the first henchman I chose to speak to, not your supervisor or Bedlam's other acolytes. You. I think I read that right. And you kept me from getting flattened at that data center. Thanks again, by the way. Yes, I did. As I said, I was protecting my investment, which includes you, Stanley. However small your contribution. You see, HenchCan is still in a closed beta. And that goes both ways. Not only are we selective with the organizations that can utilize the program, but the henchmen who can join it. To succeed on HenchCan, contractors need a certain mindset A set of patterns and behaviors that will let them thrive and solidify the program's ecosystem. Based on the data, you may have that mindset, Stanley. But I can't know for sure without reviewing your performance in person, so let's return to that subject, shall we? In fact, let's speak for a specific performance. 2 days ago, you were part of an operation. Your squad was left in the rear guard. Do you recall what happened? Nope. I was drunk. I'm just kidding. A very painful celebrity meet and greet. Yes, Shining Nova is quite this famous superhero, and you two met face to face. Lucky me, right? That makes you the second famous person I met this week. Oh. Oh, I'm famous? This is news to me. Ah, shit. Secretive assassin, right? Me and my big mouth, but hey, maybe I could spin this into a positive. Tell me, what makes you think so? Because you're hot. You just told me so. I mean, just look at you. You're a renowned assassin. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the middle one. You're a renowned assassin. Okay. I mean, you were the best assassin in the world for a while. Oh, that's a pretty big deal. And how did you happen upon that information? Ah, crap. I didn't want to get Kate in trouble. I'm definitely fidgeting, but I hope she'll chalk it up to nerves. Oh no! I didn't think about that. The internet? Not possible. How could you scrape and crawl across the web with any framework you could imagine and not find a single mention of me? Yet a henchman found me with a basic search. Shit, she's onto me. For a moment, Scorpion studies me in silent frustration, like an archaeologist who's deciphering an ancient tome and finding nothing but long-lost knock-knock jokes. But I suppose it doesn't matter how you know. My presence was bound to bring rumors. But back to the matter at hand. Yeah, we keep getting distracted. You were the final member of the rear guard to engage Shining Nova during that operation, and you did so alone, after your colleagues had all rushed in at once or fled. Well, when you put it like that, I sound pretty stupid. You certainly didn't have the odds in your favor. In fact, we did an exact calculation of your chances of success in that scenario. They were 600,000 to 1. Oof. And now I sound really stupid. If your goal was to succeed, but you weren't trying to succeed, were you, Stanley? Not in the traditional sense. Why don't we review your moment-to-moment decisions during this encounter? Scorpion strides over to her desk and presses a few keys on the fancy-looking keyboard that's resting on it. In response, the equally fancy holographic display sitting next to it comes to life. The display morphs into a miniature recreation of the research lab we raided on Wednesday. It's really exact. Too exact to be a recreation. This had to be footage from somewhere. Once it's in place, Scorpion gestures to the footage. So, Stanley, here you are. You were faced with an A-list superhero all by yourself. What did you do? What? And look at the display. She's definitely watched it before. It's not like I'm going to tell her anything she doesn't already know. Ugh, this has to be on purpose. Well, I assessed the situation and determined that the scenario did not possess the optimal conditions for victory. And so you surrendered. Well, yeah, if you want to be blunt about it, but listen, it was more of a temporary... Stanley, stop. You don't need to explain yourself. I completely understand your decision. You do? Of course. It's like you said. You study the data you had available and realize that you had no chance of victory in this scenario. Luckily, victory was not your goal. Your goal was stalling Shining Nova for as long as possible. Given your position and rather verbose personality, the best way for you to stall someone isn't always by fighting them. Sometimes it's by talking. Yeah, well, Shining Nova didn't seem too talkative. Yes, the footage makes that quite clear, and your lack of grace certainly didn't help matters. As I watch the replay of the exchange, I can't help but wince as I tripped over the... oh my god. As I trip over the debris and send myself sprawling. Not my finest moment. However, your surrender clearly caused Shining Nova to hesitate. You had a modicum of agility. It's possible that you could have taken advantage of that. And while Shining Nova is inconsistent in these situations, there are plenty of heroes that would be delayed significantly by, how to put it, witty banter. Ceaseless drivel. Regardless, the data indicates that henchmen can talk to superheroes in addition to mindlessly attacking them, cause delays over 3 times greater than the mean. So, does this mean I get a raise or something? Let's not get carried away. How about a gold star? I've got just a spot for one on my uniform. You mean the little stickers you give to children? Stanley, trivial rewards and pats on the head are how you train a dog, not a person. Oof. She's sure telling me. But if you need a little star to remind you of every good thing you've done, I could always carve you a more permanent one. Huh? That's okay. I'll just give myself a mental high five or something. Too bad. Some scars. Wait, I don't know what she said. Whatever. So she was gonna give me a scar? Oh my. But let's get back to Wednesday's operation. If you look at that footage right here, you'll notice something interesting about where you landed. What might that be? I feel like all of this is a test. Even though I know what she's talking about, I look at the footage anyway. Well, I'm pretty close to a door, and the engineers that we took captive aren't that far either. Correct. Though you didn't realize that though you didn't realize that second bit so quickly at the time. In fact, you don't notice until this moment right here. She advances the footage until the hologram turns its head in the direction of the hostages. And then what precisely did you do with this newly acquired knowledge? Well, I threatened them, sort of. I didn't exactly have a weapon or anything, so I just pretended my communicator was a bomb. An excellent idea. But there was one problem with that plan. Your opponent. Yeah, I guess someone with super sci-fi vision isn't going to confuse a walkie-talkie for a grenade. No, they aren't. That said, I don't imagine that you would have any idea of knowing that at the time. Given your situation, you made the best possible move. You made use of your environment, and the weak-willed, faint-hearted tendencies of most superheroes. With a different opponent, you may have forced a standoff. Yet even as it stands, you still caused a minor delay. See how Shining Nova abruptly halts? There's hesitation there. Weakness. I don't know. I think she's overreading this. I just got lucky. More importantly, you showed the kind of attitude needed to succeed in the Henchman program, Stanley. You saw the exposed throat of your enemy, and you pressed your blade against it. Well, I wouldn't say that exactly. It's not like I was using a real bomb. The hostages were never in actual danger. But they didn't know that, did they? Oh shit! I pressed too soon. Oops. Whatever. Maybe? I can't really say that I've tasted too many emotions. What? Interesting. I mean, maybe pain, but I think that's more like blood getting into my mouth and stuff. If you could taste emotions, though, what would they taste like? Would happiness be sweet or savory? Would anger be hot and spicy? Would sadness be soggy bread? Yeah, I like soggy bread. You'll grow accustomed to it, I have no doubt. It's rather addicting. And, as you're starting to discover, effective. Is there like a log? I feel like I missed something. Well, I did miss something, but... Oh no! Go back. What is this? I don't want to press it, I'm scared. I always end up messing stuff up when I press random buttons, I don't know, like, what they do. Now then, I think we've seen enough of this, haven't we? She finally turns off the hologram. Thank freaking God. This is the first time I've watched myself get humiliated by a superhero, and I have to say, I could live without the experience. So, Stanley, after receiving the footage, would you say that this is a normal operation for you? No. Definitely more exciting. And after our review, would you say that you perform better or worse than your peers in this scenario? Well, better, but... And how were you compensated for this operation compared to normal? How about compared to your peers? I'll answer for you. The same on both counts. But that's how it works, isn't it? You're paid a salary, and that doesn't change when things are harder, or your performance is better. No, you can't earn more without a review like this one. And they don't come often. But dear Stanley, what if I told you that you can? You mean something something. I don't know what it says. Damn it, I have to stop pressing prematurely. Okay, something. I admit, I wasn't entirely sold on the name until we've tested it with a few slogans, but it really works, doesn't it? I guess so. Where are you going with this? I'm getting to that, Stanley, but first, why don't we turn this discussion inward? What do you mean? I mean that as a henchman for Lord Bedlam, who or what do you serve before all else? Well, I would say him. I don't know. That's pretty obvious, isn't it? Lord Bedlam pays the bills, so that means what he says goes. It must be lovely for Lord Bedlam, having such absolute loyalty from his subordinates. Well, loyalty. The word absolute is a little restrictive, isn't it? But just as you said, that you serve Lord Bedlam above all else, did you not? Yeah, I guess I did. I meant, like, in a professional sense, so within my job description. I think that's fair. There. Repeat what you just said. I think that's fair. Right. You are doing what you think is fair. You. I do my best to avoid giving the dangerous, possibility psychotic... Wait, what? I avoid my best to... Oh, wait. Oh my god, I can't read. I do my best to avoid giving the dangerous, possibly psychotic supervillain a skeptical look, which is pretty hard considering how little sense she's making right now. Sorry, I don't think I follow. Very well, I shall explain to you yourself, huh? During your everyday tasks, you trend right inside the average. By every available metric, you do not perform better or worse than any of your fellow henchmen. You are perfectly commonplace. But when you are personally at risk during operations, you are suddenly head and shoulders above the pack, despite having no powers or exceptional athletic background. Hey! Don't call me unfit. In other words, Stanley, you are performing at the optimal level for your own self-interests. You have found exactly how to do your job and collect your paycheck with as little pain and effort as possible. Ah, crap. This took a nosedive real quick. I raise my hands in front of me and shake my head in denial. No. You've got it all mixed up. Look, You're the one who has things mixed up. It's a good thing. Why should you try to perform any better when you have no incentive to do so? Should you throw yourself at superheroes based on the distant dream of a promotion? Of course not. So she thinks I'm, like, average? Maybe? No. You have learned that the optimal path forward within this system is to intentionally perform below your potential. So that's what you do. And make no mistake, you have potential, Stanley. Oh, thank you. Uh-oh, she's coming close again. Madame Scorpion pauses to examine me once again. This time she leans in closer. I try and fail not to flinch. All you need to bring it out is a system that rewards you appropriately. And this, Stanley, is what I have been getting at. Henchman is that system. With Henchman, you would be rewarded based on the work you do. If you accept more gigs or more difficult ones, then you earn more. If you perform better on a gig, you earn more. It's simple. Take Wednesday's operation, for example. You would have been paid better than your peers for that. And certainly better than your supervisor. Damn. I don't know. I think she's making a good case. She's uncomfortably close now. I can't lean further back without tripping over my chair. And for whatever reason, I can't bring myself to break eye contact. Well, I mean, her eyes are mesmerizing. Have you ever looked over the edge of a cliff and just had this weird urge to jump, even though you know it would kill you? Looking into Madame Scorpion's eyes is like looking down that cliff. How would that make you feel? Good, I guess. But, I work for Lord Bedlam. And he employs you, but should he own you, your days could be his, and your nights. Wait. So, I'm gonna have two jobs now, I guess? She leans in closer and places her hand on my shoulder. I feel myself go rigid. Could be mine. Ayo! You, mean Henchkins, right? Your program? Why, of course, Stanley. And that's what I've been talking about this whole time. Yeah, she's not coming on to you, dude. Or she's not coming on to us. I don't know. You're exactly the kind of candidate that we need. You'd be just perfect for it. Before my brain can reboot and offer a response, Scorpion removes her hand and turns back to her desk. Only now that she's let go do I realize how sore my shoulder feels. And as it happens, I know of a gig tonight that would be an excellent trial run. You should sign up. Sure, why not? I can't, it's game night. No, my game night. How am I gonna play knockoff Dungeons and Dragons now? I need more information first. Sure, why not? I need more information first. Sorry, but I need a little more information before I could commit to a program like that. I mean, you make a persuasive argument, but... No further explanation is necessary, Stanley. The only right decision is an informed one. What do you think this is on all these screens? Science? I don't know. She gestures to the screens that line the walls of her office, displaying a litany of maps, charts, and spreadsheets. Information, data. Without these things, on what grounds can someone make a decision? Intuition? Instinct? Why, that's no better than a dog. Damn. Though I think you'll find the gig itself to be quite enlightening. Think of it as a scouting mission of sorts. That makes sense. I'll think about it. And I'll have to think about how to handle tonight's S&S session. It's game night after all, and I already invited Kate. Very well. In the meantime, I suggest you download our Henchman app. You'll find more detailed information on there. You'll find a QR code on the bulletin boards in the break rooms or at the entrance to the cafeteria. Tonight's gig should be immediately available to you. Take a few hours to collect some more information and think it over, but not too long. You'd hate to disappoint me. Yes, ma'am. I'm sure I would. Oh no, that wasn't a question. You'd really hate it. From the bottom of your heart. I'd make certain of it. Then, dear Stanley, you'd see where I have my other... Wait. Then, dear Stanley, you'd see where I have my other meetings. You mean the ones where people are in trouble? Precisely. That's all. Number 65. You're dismissed. Right. Got it. Thanks. Whew, she's something else. Oh man, I'm dead. By the time I've stood up from my seat, Madame Scorpion is behind her desk. Her attention is turned to something else entirely, so I silently head for the door and step outside as quickly as I can without seeming like I'm in a panic. Or, that's the goal. I'm not sure if it worked. Oh man. She's quite the, femme fatale. It's not until I've rounded the first corner that I finally let myself sigh in relief. Ah, thank God it's over. I feel like I just went through an emotional spin cycle. Still, I didn't do so bad considering that I was being interviewed by a possibly psychotic tyrant / tech mogul. Is that what dealing with a bona fide, genuine article supervillain is like? Do you spend every second wondering if you're going to be eviscerated? Okay. Not every second. Scorpion's a total smoke show. And probably has, if you got it, flaunt it, engraved on a plaque somewhere. Can you blame me for taking my mind off of my own murder for a moment? Then again, I'm pretty sure female scorpions kill their mates, so maybe that was also my murder. Goddamn, nature ruins everything. I'll have to look that up. I had no idea about that. That's kind of badass, not gonna lie. I take my time heading to my post for the day, and it's only when I get halfway there that I realize the craziest thing about that woman. Despite my fears of being dismembered, weirdly enough, it seemed like we were speaking candidly towards the end there. I feel like that should mean something. I'm just not sure what. Ooh, time to eat. Please, no more baloney. My first shift passes by quickly. Today my squad is working in the warehouse, which is like the opposite of guard duty. I'm less likely to be bored out of my mind, but my body can't stand putting in actual effort. Luckily, I don't think Dave knows how to read our inventory system, so I just look like I'm working hard. The key is to let him see me lift a few things early and then stay out of sight as much as possible. All that time and energy I've put into avoiding work has given me quite the appetite, and by the time we head to the cafeteria, I'm absolutely Huh? Aw, shit. What's wrong, buddy? I forgot that Chef Antonio and I are at war. Metaphorically, I mean. Don't worry, it's not an actual war. He's like, what? Oh, good. I was about to say. Uh, I know you were, Dave. Anyway, I think I'm just going to skip the line and get a table. So, would that be a metaphorical retreat? I prefer to think of it as guerrilla tactics. If he asks where I am, tell him I'm in medical. Why would he ask where I am? I'm doing my best to avoid the all-seeing eye of Chef Antonio. I find an empty table and have a seat. I drum my fingers on the table and try to think of anything but the food everyone else is eating. Sadly, my stomach has other plans and lets out a loud growl. Uh-oh. You filthy traitor. That'll learn it. Show that organ who's boss. Huh? She's cute too. I look up to see Kate take a seat across from me, tray in hand. Damn right, gotta keep them in line. Sometimes, instead of doing cardio, I just berate my heart for an hour. What the heck? What do you mean, sometimes? Wouldn't that imply that you do cardio in the first place? For your information, routinely fleeing colorfully attired walls of muscle is a wonderful fitness routine. It's like Pilates for masochists. Oh my god. I feel like you don't know what Pilates are. All I know is that they usually involve the gym and yoga pants. I can't see myself inside either of those things. Technically, you're not wrong. And you're definitely not right. Kate eyes the empty space in front of me. Still haven't made peace with the chef, huh? Nope. This is grade A. Eternal nemesis conflict. We're destined to battle into the end of time. Oof. Yeah? Well, I don't think that treacherous stomach of yours can last that long. Seriously, have some of my... Well, gosh, Stan. You didn't tell me you made a new friend. Oh, you nosy bastard. Before Kate has time to react, Dave has set his tray down at the table and extended a hand in greeting. It's a real pleasure to meet you, miss. I'm Dave, squad supervisor. Good to meet you. Kate extends her hand and receives a firm handshake in turn. Once Dave lets go, she points to the name tag that's still on her uniform. I'm Kate. She's the rookie I guided around yesterday. Just so happens that we have the same lunch block, so... Wait, are you still wearing that name tag? Yeah. Is that a problem? No. It's just, I don't think you have to anymore. It was a one-day thing. I guess not, but I'm still new, so it's easier for people to learn my name this way. Yeah, she's just being considerate, Stan. Gosh, you millennials have no manners. What the? Excuse me, sir? Dude, you're a millennial, and I'm pretty sure I'm older than you. Oh god, I'm older than you. It's this social media that my pawpaw says everyone has to clap back or back clap or post little emojis of clapping. What the fuck? Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna clap, do it to my face. Cowards, am I right? How dare you encourage this? Encourage what? A blossoming friendship? More like an unholy alliance. I think I was safer with Scorpion. You met Madame Scorpion? When? This morning. Stan had his big interview. I made sure that he was up extra early to prepare though. So I'm sure he aced it. Right, buddy? Let's not get carried away. I survived. Well, don't sell yourself short, because that's not always the case, believe me. So, now that you've seen her face to face, what do you think? Oof. I mean, she's hot. That I might be murdered soon? She's still a mystery. She's impressive. She's still a mystery. I might be murdered soon. She's still a mystery. Honestly, she's a bit enigmatic. Is that how you say it? Enigmatic. I think that's how you say it. Which is weird to say because she spoke pretty directly with me towards the end there. It's clear she knows more than she lets on. Not just about me, but everything. She's always calculating something. I don't know how else to describe it. Well, from what I've seen, it's not a bad way to put it. Pretty accurate, I'd say. I don't think describing something as enigmatic can be too accurate by definition, can it? No, the other part. Calculating. What made you say that exactly? I'm not sure. Have you ever seen that thing in a movie or show where someone is thinking really hard and all these equations start appearing in their head? Well, like the meme. Except smart, not confused. It feels like that, except she seems like she's doing it without even trying. She can make math equations appear by her head? That's not what I expected her power to be at all. Dave, we're not being literal here. Yeah, that's it. Probably how she got away from Miss Dynamo. Just confused her with a bunch of math. I think he's pulling his leg. You know, that might actually work. Right. Good thinking, Stan. Maybe I should start carrying around a calculator. Oh my god, he's taking this too literally. I'm not sure that would have the same effect. But anyway, I was just curious. I got a similar feeling about Madame Scorpion myself. For a few moments, Kate fidgets with her gloves and stares off into space, probably recalling her own first meeting with the aforementioned supervillain. Man, is that how I looked when I talked about it? Even if I managed to avoid death or dismemberment, it looks like Madame Scorpion is going to leave behind a big old pile of emotional scarring. Look, just be careful around her. I'm serious about what I said. Not everyone walks into a room with Not everyone walks into a room with Madame Scorpion walks back out. Okay, I guess I was lucky then. That sort of thing might be part of her former occupation, but old habits die hard. And you'll die easily. Thanks. You have so much confidence in me. My old habits die hard too. Sometimes I think I'm back on the farm. Today in the warehouse, I called the crates hay bales by accident. And this other time, I thought someone's pet parakeet was a chicken. Oh my god. So what, you tried to take its eggs or something? No, my sister collected the eggs. My job was to butcher the ones we ate. What? That sounds pleasant. Dave, wait a second. Oh my god, you didn't. Well, it looks like we finally solved the mystery of what happened to Lord Birdlim. You ate the parakeet, you monster. It was an accident. It was just old habits, like you said. I think that crosses the line from habit to disorder. Although, now that I think about it, that's a pretty good example for the situation. Thanks, Dave. Oh, you're welcome, Kate. Just a little squat supervisory nugget of wisdom for you. I've got loads of them. I bet you do. So, basically, Stan, be careful around Madame Scorpion, or you could end up like Lord Birdlim. Delicious? Dead Stan. Very dead. But luckily, the most dangerous thing you'll encounter tonight are some bad dice rolls, right? True, though they'll be more dangerous for everyone else since... Wait, does this mean you're playing? It may, if your party has room for a Palladian. Is that how you say it? I don't know. You said, or Paladin? Something like that. Salad. Okay. You said they needed a tank, right? Yeah, that's perfect. Just a normal paladin, though? Anytime someone plays a paladin around here, they're usually a dark paladin instead. 'Cause, you know. Oh, right. I mean, of course it's a dark paladin. I just figured that was obvious. Was it not obvious? Paladins? Dice rolls? What are you guys talking about? Wait, oh, are you guys playing Spells and Swords tonight? Oh my gosh, that sounds fun. Can I join? Oof. I tried to hide my wins. Ah, crap. I should have been more careful. What if he heard about it and he didn't... Wait, I knew if he heard about it, he'd invite himself. I don't see why not. There's not a limit on players. As long as it's okay with Stan, of course. Thanks for throwing me under the bus right there. I glance at Kate, looking for the teasing glint that I know I'll find in her eyes. But there's also something encouraging, as if she's trying to nudge me into saying yes. She's right, of course. Technically, I could say no, but technically, Dave is sort of my boss. So as much as it might disrupt things, my only choice is to accept. Sure, Dave. You can join the party. What class are you gonna be? Gee, I'm not sure. Is there a class that's kind of like a squad supervisor? That would work great. How about a cleric? They're sort of like a supervisor. So they make sure everyone's on time and focusing on their work? No, I mean they help support everyone and keep them feeling good. Supervisors aren't supposed to do that? Huh. Oh, Stan, it's okay. Being a squad supervisor is a complicated job. Not just anyone can understand how it works. But I don't really have a better idea, so I guess that'll work. I shrug and sigh in resignation. Well, if he's gonna invite himself into a party, may as well be a healer. Hey, healers are important. Kate and Dave continue to discuss plans for tonight's session, but I tune it out. I've forgotten something important. Oh shit! The gig! I got so into this talk about spells and swords that I forgot all about it. So, not to change topics or kill anyone's enthusiasm, but I may have gotten a bit ahead of myself about tonight's session. What's wrong? Is a dark paladin not villainous enough? Do I need to be a demon paladin or something? No. There's definitely enough villainy. It's just that something else happened in that review. The thing is, Madame Scorpion asked me to sign up for a henchman gig. Tonight. Wow! That's great, Stan! As your squad supervisor, I'm proud of the recognition you're getting for your hard work, and the recognition of your squad, and squad leadership. We'll also get for helping you work so hard. Sure. Thanks, man. I looked to Kate, not sure what reaction I should be expecting. Disappointment, maybe? The reality is more along the lines of pensive silence and a hint of concern. Did she say what the job was? No. There's a few more details in the app here. I pull out my phone, open the Henchman app, and hand it over to her. She won't find much information there, just a general description of the job, the pay, the time, and various ratings for different parts of the job. Things like the general difficulty expectations regarding the use of lethal force, civilian presence, and the possibility of a superhero intervention are all given different ratings out of 5 stars. No location is given. Meeting coordinates are sent through a separate encrypted message shortly before the job, if you decide to accept. More detailed information would be nice, but I can't say I expected much more. Kate frowns as she scrolls through the data and hands me back my phone. Seems like a good payday. Could be risky, though. This isn't entry level, from the looks of it. That's the idea, I think. It's meant to be some kind of test. It's a tough call. On the one hand, this is Madame Scorpion, and she's not used to being refused. On the other hand, if it's meant to be a test, then it will definitely be dangerous. Plus, you'd totally be missing out on our awesome Spells and Swords adventure. So if I were you, I'd take some time to think about it. I won't blame you either way, but if you had to decide right now, which one would you pick? Shit. Aw, man. Can I pick both? I mean, I'm curious about the side gig, not gonna lie. Well, I do love money, so right now I guess I'm leaning toward the side gig. Really? I didn't realize things were that tight for you. The henchman ratings seem pretty good for this assignment, so I get it, but I won't lie. I'd be a little disappointed if this super exclusive S&S meet of yours is cancelled after all the hype. I was kind of hoping we could hang out. But it's no big deal, really. You gotta do what you've gotta do. Hey, I'm not blowing you off, I promise. And this is just what I'm thinking about right now. Maybe I'll change my mind, who knows? Well, whatever call you make, don't sweat it. Honest. Thanks, rookie. Whatever I end up deciding, you guys will be the first to know. And how are you going to let me know exactly? Carrier pigeon? Or do you guys send messenger rats through the walls around here? What the? Oh, right, we never exchanged numbers, did we? 1 second. After fumbling with a few pouches, I remember which one holds my phone, and we exchange contact information. Dave insists on doing so as well, which doesn't seem entirely appropriate, but that's Dave. That might be a good biography title for him. Not entirely appropriate. Maybe the whole Lord Bedlam operation as a whole. Gotta hang on to that one. There we go. That'll be easier. Though, I admit, I was sort of looking forward to some kind of trained animal messenger. What? Come on, don't make me feel guilty. Honestly, they might be more reliable. The reception in a secret mountain base isn't great. Big shock, I know. The rest of lunch is filled with small talk. Nothing groundbreaking, but it's oddly relaxing. Kate's better at redirecting Dave's enthusiasm, and he only mentions that he's a squad supervisor like 3 or 4 more times. With Kate around, the dynamic of our spells and sword session seems like it has potential, even with Dave's unexpected last-minute addition. That is, if I decide to go to it. I'll see where my head is at in a few hours, regardless of my current feelings. Kate's right. This is a decision that I need to think about very carefully. It's the S's. The S's are tripping me up because I know my mic picks up the yucky sound. As the day drags into the late afternoon, I return to my room and change into a spare uniform and freshen up. Neither game night nor the side gig feel the right venue for that sweaty warehouse day aroma. Yeah, gotta be fresh, you know? Maybe I should invest in some cologne. Between the sweat and getting thrown into a dumpster, I've had a lot of smells to cover up lately. I like how he uses, like, a cardboard box for his TV, like, to like, keep it up. As I finish buckling up my uniform, I grab my phone from where I left it on my bed. Frowning, I open the Henchman app, navigate to the gig Madame Scorpion had mentioned, and stare. This is it. I've given myself all day to think. What should I do? Unwind with some spells and swords at game night? Or take this Henchman gig and go earn some extra money? Fuck. Maybe I should, like, save? I could try saving and see what happens either way, like what I decide to do. Alright, I think I'm gonna go for the side gig. I tap the button labeled Accept on the app. I could use the extra money, and turning down Madame Scorpion's direct offer feels like it could end very badly. I want to know what happens too, like if I decide to just reject the offer. She might have been supportive of me taking more time to gather information and evaluate my choices, but I get the distinct feeling that she still has a right choice in mind. Hers. Taking your time with big decisions is a good idea, but a bad decision doesn't get any better just because you agonize over it more. That's wise. And then again, Scorpion aside, this gig doesn't look that great for my health either. If any of these waivers I keep scrolling through are any indication, Jesus, why are there so many of them? I get it. If I'm injured, or sick, or die, I can't sue the Scorpion group. No need for a whole paragraph on... what? Defenestration? Alone. What the fuck does that mean? After a few moments of waiving rights that I didn't even know I had, a map finally appears, pointing me toward my nearest pickup location. It looks like it's outside the base, in the middle of the forest. It's appropriate, I guess, but this whole crowdsourced black ops shit is a weird vibe. They may not let me use my phone once I leave, so I'd better text everyone beforehand. Dave will be disappointed. He may have just found out about it, but anything that can be tied back to team building or squad unity can become as sacred as Lord Bedlam's philosophy to him, such as it is. Well, you'll have to get over it. I've got my own priorities, and he only has a say on what I do during work hours. Outside of that, it's my business. Kate's another matter entirely. After texting Dave, I type out a message to her but hesitate before sending it. She seemed genuinely excited to be part of the game. And part of me feels like I'm letting her down. But she has to understand, right? She's on the app herself. It wouldn't be fair of her to knock it. I'll just have to make it up to her. I shake off the guilt and press send, and pocket my phone. No going back now. And that meeting point's a ways off. Better get moving. Oh. It's already issue 5? Oh shit. Okay. Okay, I'll save that decision here. I'm gonna go back for a second, though. I want to know what happens if I decide that I want to... what do you call it? Wait, it's gonna overwrite the... Oh, wait. No. Go back. Okay. Load. And go back here. Wait, are you sure you want to load this file? You will lose all unsaved progress. Well, I did save. Okay. Take the side gig. Go to game night. Okay, let's see what happens if I decide to go to game night. I closed the app and opened my contacts. Extra money would be nice, but Scorpion said herself I'd gotten this far by taking just the right amount of risk. Maybe this henchman thing of hers is the future, but right now, I can get my check from Lord Bedlam whenever I take that risk or not. Besides, Kate seemed pretty disappointed when I told her I was thinking about canceling game night. Hard to blame her, really. Trying to make new friends in a place like this and getting left holding the bag wouldn't feel great, regardless of the reasoning. Not to mention Dave's reaction. I'd have been hearing about it for months. He may have just found out about it, but anything that can be tied... Oh yeah, okay. Same thing as what I said earlier. Okay. Even if I try to reschedule the session, he'll spend the whole time talking about how fun it would have been to do before. Oh, I could survive that, but I'm not sure if I'd want to. I open Kate's message page on my phone and tell her that game night's on. By the time I text Dave, she's already replied. Who knew there were so many gifts involving confetti? I smile and send a celebratory gif of my own. We exchange a few more texts as I text the rest of the group, and do my best to navigate Dave's jumbled, punctuation-free expressions of enthusiasm. Well, better get ready. Let's see. My S&S bag should be somewhere in my closet. Spells and supervillains. Okay, let's see. Oh no, I don't know what this one's called. Because this one, well, this one's different. This one would be, okay, this is spells and whatever. But if I pick this one, what is it? At least they have different... Oh wait, no, they're not different covers. Yeah, I want to overwrite the file. Oh, okay, cool, I like that. Okay, I think that's helpful. Because they're both issue 5, but they have different covers, because I made a different choice. Okay, that's nice. Let me go back. A short while later, I step out into the hallway, big bag in tow. While the halls aren't jam-packed, there are definitely more people than normal heading off to take part in one game or another. The main hall will have the most people playing on cheap card tables surrounded by a sea of plastic folding chairs. It's where we hold any tournaments or guests, and it's also where Lord Bedlam's usually found. It's way too loud for something like S&S though, so our private little game room is definitely preferable. As I make my way through the halls that lead into that direction, the crowd starts to thin out. The sound of footsteps is distilled down from an indistinct, how do you say that? Oh my god, I don't know how to say that word. I don't know how to say that word. Into individual patterns, each with their own cadence. Weirdly, one of those patterns matches my own. Almost exactly. Hey, wait up! I turn around to find those footsteps are coming from Kate, who is a short ways down the hallway. As I stop, she waves and approaches with an exuberant smile. Oh, thank God it's you! I guess I'm going the right way after all. Or the wrong way, depending on your point of view. I pause and glance down the hall. There wasn't a turn or junction for quite a ways in that direction. How long was she silently trailing behind me? Were you following me? What? No, okay, maybe a little. These halls are just so confusing, so I figured I'd tag along. I thought about shouting at you earlier, but it's hard to tell people apart from behind around here, so I wasn't sure if it was you. I didn't want to call out a total stranger, like some weirdo, so here I am. If you say so. I mean, you wouldn't be the type to stalk me or anything, would you? Although, now that I think about it, I do feel like I'm missing a lock of my hair. That's so weird. How could that happen? You shouldn't be balding yet, right? I hear they have shampoo to stop that these days. I narrow my eyes as Kate grins at me. She's definitely joking, right? I hope so, because if not... Wait. Because if that's not a shit-eating, I'm messing with you grin, then it might be cause for concern. Very funny, but my hair is perfectly healthy. Luscious, even. Can't you see the healthy sheen from my off-brand all-in-one shampoo? I think that might be grease, dude. I laugh and shake my head. Definitely just messing with me. Sure, it's a little weird for her to follow me, and we did happen to have the same lunch period, and she seemed almost like she was picking me out specifically when we got paired up for the first day. Nah, those things aren't extraordinary coincidences. Enough stuff like this happens. Or stuff like this happens. I mean, Dave always pops out of nowhere, and I never thought he was stalking me. Not after the first 7 months, anyway. Oh, there he is. So when he suddenly rounds the corner in front of us as we near the game room... Sorry. Kate is the only one who jumps. Hey gang, ready for a full night of rousing, family-friendly, and team-building adventures? Jesus Christ, I almost kicked you in the... I mean, hi Dave, great to see you. She leans in closer to me. Do you get used to that? Never. You just learn to accept it. Great to see you guys too. Oh gosh, I was so excited to get started. Game on! Or come on. Oops. Eagerly, Dave, oh my god, practically bounds his way to the game room door and swings it open. Kid and I follow Dave inside to find the room almost exactly as it was when we showed it to Kate the other day. It was completely empty. Huh? I would have thought someone else would be here by now. Oh well. Without bothering to ask where Kate and I are sitting, Dave takes his place at the head of the table. Normally that's my spot, but I'm sure he'll pull rank on me if I ask him to move. But we're not on the clock! Come on, man! Assert yourself! So I make my way to the end of the opposite table. Dave and I begin setting up. Rulebooks, dice, and more soon cover my corner of the table. Like my room, it's a little sloppy, but I can still make sense of it, mostly. Kate sits to my right. She only has a single notebook, but the pages already look stuffed to the brim. I'm kind of surprised that she can read it with all the circles, arrows, and notes scrawled in the margins. She must have seen me looking because she hastily closes it and slides it further away from me, her eyes narrowing as she's daring me to judge her. I hold up my hands in mock surrender. I finish setting up. Once I'm done, I glance around the room. Still no one else. Okay, now it's officially weird. Where is everyone? I pull out my phone. Whoops. 9 missed messages. I must have been too busy scrambling to notice. Frowning, I open one. Did they text you? What did they say? Okay, let's see. I'm not sure whether to say congrats or I'm sorry, then has a wincing emoji. What does that mean? Hold on, looks like one of them is calling me. Zach? Is that you? Where are you, man? I'm at the game room and it's a ghost town. Yeah, sorry Stan. You know I'm always down to help out new players, so I was totally cool with that rookie showing up, but This is a whole different level. What the fuck? Whole different level? What are you talking about? You've played with Dave before? You, prepared, right? Oh, huh. Don't you know? Oh, oh no. I really shouldn't have said anything. Hmm? What? Well, anyway, I just wanted to call and say that if you're no longer with us by next Friday, the group's voted that I should take your place as GM and continue the campaign. I hope you don't mind. What? Of course I mind. It's my campaign. And why wouldn't I be there next Friday? Sorry, Stan. You were a pretty good GM. I mean, your NPCs were always a bit cliche, but you were a solid B, at least, B plus on a good day, but it was fun. What? Why are they dumping me? Pretty good? Come on. I was at least... Zach? Hello? Son of a bitch. Ooh, drama. I put down my phone and look at Kate. He mentioned new players. This isn't what I think it is, right? Not being used to someone turning you down is one thing, but that would be... Suddenly the door opens and we both turn towards the door. Out of the corner of my eye, I see Kate's hand subtly fall down towards her equipment belt. Huh? Me? All I can manage is to stare wide-eyed and slack-jawed as I feel all the moisture evaporate from my mouth. Oh shit, is it? Is it? Oh shit, it's her. Fuck. I knew it! There you are, Stanley. You've picked a good location for this little sanctuary. Even took a few minutes to find it in this labyrinth. Thank you, ma'am? She ignores my response, not even breaking stride as she walks, or as she slowly walks around the room, taking it in. It's that same predatory prowl from when she circled me in the office. I gulp nervously. The only thing that gives me pause is the poster of Shining Nova, still filled with darts. Carefully, she plucks out one and examines it before turning on her heel and walking straight towards Kate and I. Oh shit, she's disappointed. Maybe she has something to do with why, everybody, did not show up to game night? I don't know. Hastily, I rise from my seat and stand at attention. Kate follows suit, but with a lot more poise. It's hard to tell with the mask on, but she seems surprisingly calm about all of this. As Scorpion walks toward the table, she casually tosses the dart over her shoulder and tears through Shining Nova's forehead. And embeds itself in the stone wall behind the poster. Whew. Never getting that one out. So, this is what you chose over my own personal recommendation, Madam Scorpion finally halts next to Kate and I. Her posture utterly imperious? Imperious? I don't know how to read that. Fuck! While her words are directed at me, her gaze is fixed on Kate, shamelessly looking the shorter woman up and down. Impressively, Kate doesn't flinch, staring right back up at Madam Scorpion without a sign of nervousness or fear. Kate offers a crisp salute. Ma'am? How utterly unimpressive. So ordinary. She turns her gaze on me and I feel my blood start to freeze in my veins. This ritual, I mean, your precious game night. When you said that you needed to gather more information before deciding, I had thought you prudent, not lazy. Now, Stanley, I'm not so certain. Fuck. But disappointment is an unbecoming emotion. Useless, even, and dwelling upon the fact that you have chosen poorly is fruitless. Gathering data on you... Gathering on why you made that decision, however, is quite useful. So, where shall I sit? Oh, shit. Excuse me? At the table, Stanley. If I am to take part, I need to be seated, correct? Oh, you know what? That's why they didn't come. Because of her. They were referring to the new player as her. They don't want to, I think the people in my campaign, is that what you would call it? I don't know anything about these card dice games. I don't know anything about it. But I think what they meant was her, and they're like intimidated by her and don't want for me to be like the GM or the Grandmaster or whatever it's called. If she's gonna be part of this group. I open my mouth to speak, but I find myself at a loss for words. She wants to play? Is this for real, or is it another test? Knowing that I can't afford to fail if it is, my eyes flick over to Kate, hoping for some kind of advice. Unfortunately, none is to be found. Kate is far too focused, standing rigidly with her jaws set and her eyes locked on Madame Scorpion. Smart. Yes, it's up to me then. Sit next to me, sit next to Dave. I'm gonna make her sit next to Dave. Uh-oh. I gesture to the seat on Dave's right. You should probably sit next to Dave. He's the highest ranking person here. He's right. I am. Even though he hasn't even started playing. I was until you showed up, ma'am. Madame, your ladyship? Ma'am will do, David. Oh? Of course. Wait, right, of course, ma'am. Whatever you say, ma'am. Out of the corner of my eye, I can see the ghost of a smirk on Kate's lips. Clearly she approves of the two birds, one stone approach. I wonder if it really would have been a big difference if I'm like, yeah, sure, sit next to me. Now, if anyone's getting in trouble with Scorpion tonight, it's Dave. And he'll be so busy sucking up to her that he won't cause any trouble for himself, hopefully. Very well, that makes sense. Make room, David. Dave hurriedly and unnecessarily moves his chair further away from Scorpion's as she strides over and takes a seat. Casually crossing her legs, the supervillain examines the two other occupants in the room with a piercing gaze. Now you, David, I already know you from my initial reports. You're Stanley's direct supervisor, are you not? Yes, I am, ma'am. My good buddy Stan over there? His friends call him Stan, you see. Well, I'm his squad supervisor, but I'm sure you already know that. Yes, David. In fact, I just said so myself. Right. You did. I remember now. Anyways, I supervise all his day-to-day assignments, so if there's anything he did or achieved, anything that you need to know more about, just let me know. I try to have a hand in all of my squad's achievements. You see? That's what leading a squad is all about. Just getting all my hands on every little thing they do, you know? I believe the term for that is micromanagement. Oh shit. Oh gosh! I don't know anything about that high-tech stuff, ma'am, but whatever it is, it gets the job done, right? Oh my god. You really are quaint, aren't you? And you speak with this man every day, Stanley? Oh shit, is she gonna fire Dave? Every day. Remarkable. Your mental fortitude continues to impress. She's like intimidating, but also hot. Okay. Already having had her fill of Dave for the moment, Madame Scorpion turns to look at Kate from across the table. But you I do not recognize. You are not with Lord Bedlam's organization. To her credit, Kate does shrivel under Scorpion's dangerous gaze, if anything, or doesn't shrivel under Scorpion's dangerous gaze. If anything, she steels herself even further. I didn't realize that she had that kind of grit. That's right, ma'am. I'm Kate. I'm with your Henchman program. I just arrived yesterday. I could see that. Your name, I mean. You forgot to remove your name tag, Kate. Oh, no. That's on purpose. I'm still new, so I thought that would help people remember me. Well, name tag or no, I'll certainly remember you. I don't forget a face. Or much of anything, really. But you've made fast friends, haven't you? How very sociable of you. I try my best to fit in, ma'am. So it seems, and you picked quite the circle to join. Stanley here is someone I've been monitoring very closely. He's a henchman of interest, such as it is. I am? Oh, I mean, thank you. Scorpion barely turns to acknowledge my words. Oh my god. Damn, she's quite a piece of work. So I trail off. Her attention is largely fixated on Kate, and vice versa. Ooh, are they gonna fight? Nah, they probably ain't. Wow, I had no idea. I just started hanging out with them because you seemed, well, chill, I guess. Shit. Quickly, I seize the opportunity to break the ice that's frosted over this conversation. Thanks, Kate. That's the kindest thing anyone's ever said about me. I think I might have chiseled that into... oh my god. I think I might have that chiseled onto my gravestone. Here lies Stan. He was pretty chill, I guess, or whatever. Who could say? Despite herself, I see the corners of Kate's mouth twitch, fighting the instinct to smile. Encouraged, I turn to Scorpion. After a flash of doubt, as I meet that razor-sharp stare, I find my voice. Anyway, it looks like all my regular party members are unavailable, so we should probably get started. Looks like the three of you are a party. The four of us, you mean? Huh? 4? Who? Oh my god! No! What the fuck? Imagine you're like trying to have your own thing and your bosses come and... oh my god. This is my boss, Lord Bedlam. Oh my god. We can't even have a night off to ourselves without our bosses trying to be a part of it. Wait. Oh my god, all the way in the distance it says, do not water, it's dead. Yay, dead plant. Behold! At last, Lord Bedlam has come to claim his destiny! Ah, shit. Kate, Dave, and I all whirl around as Lord Bedlam arrives, while Scorpion calmly looks on. The masked supervillain practically leaps into the room, making sure to flourish his cape as he makes his grand entrance. Whew, seriously, that was a long walk. Since when did we have a game room in this wing? I walked into at least 3 storage closets. Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Of course he's excited. Dave leaps to his feet even as Lord Bedlam pauses to catch his breath. Did he run here? Lord Bedlam, sir, your lordship, are you joining our Spells and Swords campaign tonight? I am indeed, my comrade-in-arms. So, I hope you have a glorious game night as planned for us, Stanley. Oh, I can't help but feel like Madame Scorpion set this up like this. As like a punishment for not taking the job. Dave, that face is so funny. The way he's just fanboying over him. Just like, oh my god. The famous Lord Bedlam, my boss. I love him so much. Excuse me. I have to hold in my laugh as I raise my hand. Okay, maybe it's a little mean, but it feels like some sort of cosmic justice. That after all that brown-nosing, Dave got mistaken for me by his would-be hero, villain. Actually, I'm Stan, sir. That's Dave. Wait, then who did he think? What? It's okay, sir. I'm Stan's squad supervisor, so it's kind of the same thing. Oh, sure, kind of. But not really, kind of. Lord Bedlam turns to face me, and despite every lazy bone in my body, I rise from my seat. Lord Bedlam is less likely to behead me for disrespecting him than Scorpion, but he's still a supervillain. And my boss, I suppose. The supervillain sticks out his hand, and I follow suit. Before I'm prepared, he's already taken me into a firm, over-exuberant handshake. Good to meet you, Stan. Yes. Good to meet you again. We've been meeting for a few years now. Yes, of course. You're one of our decorated veterans, a real senior member of the Bedlam team. That was just a turn of phrase. Oh my god. Lord Bedlam releases my hand and walks towards one of the open seats, his cape billowing out behind him. Now then, it's game time! One of our proudest Team Bedlam traditions, so... Lord Bedlam throws back his cape, pulls out a chair, and takes a seat. Though surely meant to be a smooth, imposing motion, it's quickly undermined when his cape immediately gets caught beneath his butt. After fumbling to free the garment, he rests his elbow on the table and points to me as though nothing happened. So, take charge and get this game started. Show us the creativity and discipline that a senior henchman in this organization is capable of. We're not at work, dude. Nervously, I glance around. Scorpion catches my eye first, smiling wolfishly. Oh, could she do this to me? Clearly, Lord Bedlam came at her behest. I'm not sure if it's another test, a punishment, or both. Either way, she's clearly enjoying it. I look to Kate next, who's smiling pleasantly, but can't fully hide her tension. It's hard to blame her. This was supposed to be a fun night off, and now she's basically on the clock. I'll need to apologize to her later. Dave, for his part, needs no apology. If anything, he'll be thanking me. Based on that giddy grin, his enthusiasm does give me a little bit of confidence, though. At least someone is guaranteed to enjoy this. Alright then, welcome to a new Spells and Swords campaign, everybody. This one is my personal spin on an old classic from the 4th edition called Bandits of the Golden Valley. Ooh, we're fighting bandits? Cool. No. You are the bandits. Oh, right, duh. Thought that sounded weird. Of course, we're the bandits. Anyway, before we get started, does everyone have a character sheet? Dave's hand shoots up, and Lord Bedlam's follows shortly afterwards. Yes, I'll be playing Lord Archibald Lifesbane, a half-demon wizard. And I'll have one for you as well, madame. As you requested, you are a dark elf rogue named... I'll name it. Whatever name you'd like. You are our honored guest, after all. Oh, wow. Even Lord Bedlam folds like a napkin in front of her. Well, probably smart of him. As Scorpion starts making changes onto her character sheet, Kate pulls on one of her own. Wait. Kate pulls one of her own from her notebook. I'm all set too. Don't worry. Scarlet Ravenblood, the human dark paladin, at your service. I mean, your service darkly. Oh, good. I had a couple spares in case you needed one. I'm impressed, though. When did you put that together? Maybe she's a spy! Oh my god. But, okay, how did Madame Scorpion find out about this, though? About game night. Maybe they're working together. Shit, I'm paranoid now. This morning, it was no big deal. I found that you can do just about anything as long as you put in the research. That much is true, at least. And that leaves... I'm Dave. Fucking Dave. Just like, what? Oh my god. Yes, we know. No, not me. I'm Dave, and I'm playing Dave. Dave the cleric. Oh my god. Fascinating. Okay, better step in and get this moving before it gets completely derailed. Alright then. Lord Archibald Leifsbane, Scarlet Ravenblood, Dave, and... I'm sorry, ma'am, what did you say your name, or your character's name was again? I didn't. Huh? Right, sure. That keeps things simple, I guess. So, anyway, you people, all of you, even those without names, have separately lived in the city of Ilex, a hive of villainy and other exciting family activities, great trails, scenic views, very outdoorsy. Anyway, all that really takes a backseat to the whole villainy thing. It's not that the place has lots of crime, it's that there's no crime. It's entirely lawless. Excellent. Truly a paradise. Oh my god. Ilex is lawless. Very clever, Stanley. I managed a half-hearted chuckle. That had better be a doozy of a name she comes up with, talking all the smack. But you four can handle it. Instead of getting mugged, each of you has separately found... Oh, never mind. Oops, I was doing the wrong voice. But the four of you can handle it. So instead of getting mugged, each of you has separately found your own way... oh my god. Found your way to a dimly lit tavern. Oh my god, what's wrong with me? Occupied by a discerning, if unhygienic clientele of ruffians, mercenaries, and assholes. Ah, that sounds wonderful. Reminds me of the old independent supervillain association's monthly mixers. They were a real hoot, until Arsonist Man had a few too many IPAs, and well, in hindsight, we probably shouldn't have let him join. Well, luckily for you, Arsonist Man isn't here. In fact, Lord Archibald, you are the first player to enter. So, what would you like to do? Ah, excellent. I, Archibald Leifsbane, gallantly enter the tavern, my cape flowing behind me like a majestic cape. He's so silly. This sounds familiar. I march to the bar, ignoring the stares of admiration that surely follow me, and order a glass of rosé. That boy ain't right. Just kidding. The barkeep doesn't know what that is. Oh, right. Then, I order an IPA. What about mead? He doesn't know what that is either. What? Preposterous! Everywhere has IPAs. Surely they could scrounge up one for the famous Lord Archibald Leifsbane? Firstborn of Duke Alfred Leifsbane, Steward of Leifsbane County. You're right. Sorry, Lord Bedlam. My mistake. The barkeep brings you an IPA. This is going to be tricky. Better move on to someone who can't threaten my life or career. Anyway, Scarlet Ravenblood, you enter the tavern next. What do you do? Oh, already? Okay. Hold on. Ahem. A lone warrior strides through the door, armor clanking as they move. It glints in the dim of the tavern, but darkly, for it is as black as the deepest pit, and so is their soul. The warrior's name, Scarlet Ravenblood, that's me. As I arrive, my violet orbs scan the room. Wait. Did you just call your eyes orbs? Yes, shut up. You can't just use eyes all the time, that's boring. Anyway, my orbs eventually fill a scheduled table, or find a secluded table in the most shadowy part of the cavern, and I walk over, armor clinking. I take a seat and call for a waiter. A dwarven woman approaches. What will you have, moody-looking stranger? An ale. The darkest ale you've got. Like, really super dark. The waiter leaves and soon returns with your ale. It's definitely dark, and it tastes kind of grimy. Perfect. I sip my ale and brood. Okay, roll to brood. Really? Oh, okay. I suppress a laugh as Kate actually rolls her dice. Damn, he was pulling her leg. Wow, 18. Very successful brood. You look incredibly imposing as you drink your dark, questionable ale from the shadows. Thank you. And the next person to enter the tavern is, me, I assume. I enter the tavern and sit exactly 6 feet away from the door, as close to the wall as I can. If there are no seats in that spot, I move to one there. Then I order a glass of their finest wine. If it is not their finest wine, then I explain to the waitress that their blood will do instead. Red is red, after all. Gosh, it's kind of starting to scare me. Supervisor, put in an order for some red wine, please. Very expensive. Well, luckily for the waitress, she manages to find some very nice red wine. Some of the best red wine you've ever tasted. I doubt that. I'll mark it down as acceptable. Works for me. Anyway, up last is Dave. What do you do? I enter the tavern and approach the barkeep. Wait, what is he holding? Oh my god. He's so silly. Good afternoon, I'm Dave, and I'm here to tell you about our Lord and Savior. He pauses to look down at his character sheet. What? Jungwith the Unknowable. Huh? The barkeep says that the drinks are on the house if you quietly and calmly take a seat. Oh, great! I'll have a cherry cola, please, and a spare flask of it for the road. The tavern doesn't have cola. Oh. Bartender, may I please speak with your manager? I sigh, but let him have his cola without further protest. I have a feeling I'm going to let a lot of things slide tonight. Alright, now that you're all gathered here, do any of you want to interact with each other a little before we move on? To what end? Stan, I have to work for this cola. I've got to enjoy it. Bah, Lord Archibald Lifespan doesn't go to other people. People go to him. Well, I would. But that would be kind of out of character, wouldn't it? I think I just need to keep up this brooding thing. Oh my god, I think they need to take an improv class. They seem stuck. Okay, I can see that this group is going to need some extra nudging. Maybe even outright hand-holding. Should have expected that, I guess. Kate and Scorpion definitely haven't played before. Bedlam is too wrapped up in their own character to notice much else, and Dave is Dave. Alright, well, some time passes and everything seems normal, that is, until you hear the marching of armored feet in the distance, but growing closer, then suddenly, the door bursts open. A squad of armored men enter the tavern, wearing blue tabards, I don't know what that means, emblazoned with golden griffon? I don't know. It's clear that they are guards or soldiers, which is weird because Ilex has no guards or soldiers. Oh shit. They're taking over our territory. Their leader, a stern man with a wide, flat face that looks like it's been pounded out with a meat tenderizer, steps forward and points towards Lord Archibald. Lord Archibald Wolfsbane, you have been found guilty of crimes against the kingdom of Stolterum. In the king's name, come with us to the palace so that you may receive a punishment befitting of your family station. Oh, I get to be the star of the plot? I mean, how dare you make such baseless accusations? I may have committed many crimes, but never against my own kingdom. How dare you sully the Lifesbane name with such slander? The king will be the judge of that. Now, come with us. Nonsense! Lord Archibald Lifesbane surrenders to no man or woman, or 63% of the world's known monsters. If you dare to seize me, then you shall have to contend with might of the greatest wizard of the Lifesbane line has ever seen. Well, not yet. You're only level 3. The third or fourth greatest wizard of the Lifesbane family has ever seen. And the aid of any soul who cannot stand the sight of such imperialism in this free city. I mean, Dave. He's more than happy to help. Look at him. Oh, I'll help you, Lord Archibald. I cast my healing spell on Lord Archibald. But he's undamaged, are you sure? Absolutely. I have to help in whatever way I can. I stare in confusion at him for a moment before rolling some dice for show. Wow, look at that! Lord Archibald is at full health. Yes, I'm really getting the hang of this. Yeah, in fact, you're so good that the leader of these guys has decided you need to be taken care of. So he tells one of his men to get rid of you. Oh shit. So the soldier walks up to you and... I roll another dice. Punches you in the face for 3 points of damage. Aw, man. That reminds me of Wednesday. He can't stay in character, this is funny. Well, this is a little different. The city's lawless, and that means the people aren't big fans of armored assholes showing up and laying down the law. So by punching you in the face, the guard has created quite the commotion, which means it would be the perfect time for someone else to step in. I look to Kate, then to Madame Scorpion. Okay, so this scenario is a little obvious, but they're both new, so I figured it would be a good start with something that gives them a lot of freedom to try stuff. But they both remain silent. Anyone? Why, it would be much more advantageous to bide my time. Yeah, I'm just biding my time. I'm all about biding my time. Plus, I'm too busy staring into the abysmal depths of this ale and contemplating the horror of my existence. Oh my god. Guys, please? Okay, well, as you sit there brooding, one of your soldiers shoves a patron into your table, spilling your ale. There you go. You scum! How could you do this? It was one of the few truly pure things left in this world, and you destroyed it, murdered it in cold blood. I unsheathed my sword. Now, don't rush into things, dear. All that bravado won't be necessary. Just leave this to me, Besides, I believe you've used too many actions for one turn. What? No, I haven't done any actions, I just started. And I, as I always do, shall finish it. Damn. Finish? But, meaning no offense, madam, I had a big plan and... Game Master. I'm pretty sure I didn't finish my turn earlier. Shouldn't I have a chance to go? I'm the star of this whole scenario, aren't I? Yeah! Lord Bedlam's the star! We're all just moons in his orbit! Gosh, this game night is such a mess! Well, I never said that, and technically that isn't a turn per se, since combat hadn't really... Guys, ma'am, sir, with all respect, I was kind of on a roll here, wasn't I, Stan? Ah, crap, a pile up already? Now, technically there are statistics and dice rolls that determine who goes when, but the first thing you learn when you run a game is that those are malleable. The reality is that the person running the game can always choose to bend the rules. Sometimes when things are going off the rails or players are new, that stops the game from devolving into chaos like right now. It's an easy encounter, so whoever goes next is likely going to dictate the plan or outcome of the battle. So who should I let make the next move to set their plan into motion? Shit. I don't know if this has really much of an effect on the game, or if it really has an effect on the game. I want to pick Kate. But would Lord Bedlam be like, the neutral option? I'm sure Madame Scorpion wants me to pick her. I'll pick Kate. Kate's right. Her turn wasn't finished. Not sure if I'd call it a roll, though. Oh, it was a roll. Oh, wait. Oh, it was a roll. A dark, brooding roll with excellent fashion sense. What? No. And mesmerizing violet orbs. Alright, don't push it. Just tell us what you plan to do with that sword, Scarlet. As she turns to her notes, with that playful, teasing grin that I've already grown used to, I find myself forgetting that supervillains have hijacked our game and just enjoy the moment of levity. She has that effect. From the word go, we've had an easy rapport. I just feel relaxed around her. Even now, despite the circumstances, we can easily slide into casual banter. That's not gone unnoticed either. If the eyebrow I'm getting from Madame Scorpion is any indication. Hastily, I clear my throat and straighten my posture, but it does little to dull that razor-sharp glare. Okay, I raise my blade and imbue it with the essence of fear. Pure black flames come to life across the steel surface. With my burning blade, I swing it in a mighty arc towards one of the soldiers when my target isn't his head or his heart, it's his armor. So you're using shatter armor? Yeah. I just didn't want to say it. It ruins the poetry of the moment to call out some technical-sounding attack name. Right. The thing is, Essence of Fear triggers your next attack, and its impact depends on how much damage you do. Oh, sorry. I didn't want to start out without anything deadly. Did I use it wrong? Wait, I didn't want to start out with anything deadly. Did I use it wrong? No, it's just unconventionally. I wouldn't have thought of it. Let me look it up. No need, Stanley. I can't understand why you'd avoid a more lethal attack, but it can work in theory. Oh my god, why is she analyzing everything all the time? We're just playing, you know, we're just having a good time. The fear effect is amplified based on a killing blow, so if you successfully shatter the armor, it should work in the same way. However, if the armor isn't shattered, nothing happens. Oh, well, that makes sense. How did you know that? Why, it's just as our dear Kate said, you can learn anything if you put in the research. I shrug, but don't press further. Seems like something that would take a lot more work to remember than casually searching about spells and swords on the internet. But if Scorpion doesn't want to explain it beyond that, no one here can tell her otherwise, certainly not me, regardless of how Scorpion knows about it. Kate's move is clever and creative. It's one of those things that you might only see from someone new who doesn't know the right way to use their abilities, and miraculously, after the final dice comes to a stop, it works. The soldier's armor is ripped to shreds from your attack, and the flames around your sword engulf the area. Though they don't actually seem to burn much by the time they disappear, the soldiers are in a state of panic, including one who's scrambling around in his underwear. Oh my gosh. Yes. Alright guys, they're all yours. All that ceremony and not a drop of blood. Well, I suppose I ought to fix that. Let's begin the slaughter, shall we? Goddamn. Bloodthirsty. Oh, it turned into a slaughter, alright. Not that I intended their first battle to be a struggle. I wouldn't do that even for my normal crew. Some people like tormenting their parties, but that's not really my bag. We all get our asses kicked enough in the real world in spells and swords. We get the chance to live in a world where we do the ass kicking for a change. It's a nice fantasy, even if that's all it is. By the time the imaginary dust settles and the soldiers have been thoroughly trounced by the party, and a few even more thoroughly tormented by Madame Scorpion, oh my god. But honestly, was that really a surprise? Way to go, everyone! We all came together as a squad and got those tasks done in no time. He's more of like a cheerleader. Do you refer to those human beings we killed as tasks? Because I don't really care, obviously. I'm incredibly desensitized to violence. Because I'm super violent, as you can see. I'll say, that was some high-quality violence if I've ever seen it, and I have! Spoiler alert, my backstory is very tragic. Yes, I concur. Well played, Scarjo. Huh? Scarlet. Scarlet Ravenblood? The Dark Paladin of Darkness? Oh, of course. Well done either way. That trick with the flames broke their spirit from the start. Thanks. I'm pretty hardcore. And thanks for letting me try it, by the way. I know it was a little off the wall. Sure, no problem. I thought it was really creative. You're doing great for a beginner. You think so? I was a little nervous, but it's been fun so far. She offers a small, genuine smile, and the air in the room feels a little lighter. I smile back. She's right. Despite the weird circumstances, it's been fun. And you, blood-soaked stranger, you were also most impressive. What's your name, madam? Everyone turns towards Scorpion expectantly. Now that she's been asked directly, she can't avoid saying it, assuming, of course, that she came up with one. Me? Why, I'm Death. Oh! Shit, that's pretty dark. And fitting, too. You acquitted yourself well, Lady Death. Well fought. Oh my god. Alright, look at that. You won your first battle. You introduced yourselves. You're basically a full-fledged party now. Really? Just like that? Just like that. Excellent. Then let us proceed with our quest. We must root out and destroy this threat of the Life's Bane family name, post-haste. Oh my god. Well, whatever this threat is, exactly. We should probably find that out. Good idea, sir. Luckily for you, you may have your answers soon. For as the dust settles, a wizened old man picks his way through the carnage, waving towards you. He calls out, "Oh, thank goodness you're alive, Lord Wolfsbane." Oh my god, Lord Lifesbane. I was worried those ruffians would strike you down before I could find you. You see, I have something vitally important to... Stab him. What? Why? She's crazy. You what? I mean, sure. Life's pointless anyway. What the f... But he was about to tell me vital information about... Stanley, roll the dice. What the fuck? She's gone rogue. She's gone rogue! I glanced at Lord Bedlam and shrug apologetically. It's a fair action, but I can't really... It's a fair action. I can't really stop her. So with some hesitation, I roll for the old man. Fuck. Oof. That is one very dead old guy. Damn. Your knife goes right through his heart, killing him instantly. Naturally. Next, I clean my blade and search his pockets for any kind of note or parchment. I frown and glance down to my notes. Can she read them? Or is this sort of thing just predictable for a supervillain? After taking a second to confirm the man's inventory, I turn back to Scorpion. You find a letter addressed to the man from Lord Archibald's long-lost younger brother. He has allied with the kingdom of Stalterum to steal the Lifesbane family throne, and has sent this man here to lead you astray, in case the attempt on your life failed. Oh, damn. Good call, Scorpion. By the demon god of Carnithium. What a shocking twist. Betrayed by my own flesh and blood. Lord Bedlam continues his monologue, but I find it hard to pay attention. Instead, I'm staring back at my notes. No, she couldn't have read them. There was no opportunity for her to... Maybe she's just that good? She figured out the battle system in no time after all. I feel someone staring, and I look up to find Kate frowning in my direction. She's thinking the same thing as I am, isn't she? I shrug and chance a look at Scorpion before moving on. Maybe one day I'll find something worth her wrath. But this isn't it. Well, yeah, she's not intimidated by shit. She's formidable. Eventually, Lord Bedlam returns out of steam. Or runs, oh my god. Eventually, Lord Bedlam runs out of steam, and the party moves on. As time passes, they grow more comfortable with the game and each other, and even when I give them a challenge, they tear through it. Because of her performance in their first battle, Kate's character takes the lead in the others that follow. I can tell that she's getting a kick out of it. Even if she goes a bit over the top with the description sometimes, it's fun to watch. The only one not caught up in Kate's energy is Madame Scorpion, though she never wasn't as enthusiastic as the others. I do notice that she practiced smiles that have become slightly more strained. I do notice that her practiced smiles have become slightly more strained. Huh. So it's not going as she planned? After many battles and nearly as many monologues, they raid the capital of Staltrum and face off against the king of Staltrum in his throne room. Naturally, the king turns out to be Archibald's long-lost brother in disguise. And he turns into a dragon, and yeah, things maybe got a little too complicated. Nonetheless, the party manages to whittle away at the dragon's health until it has almost nothing left. The next attack should kill it. And somewhat perfectly, it's Lord Bedlam's turn. Alright, boss, this is it. He's basically got no health left, so just pick the spell that you want to finish the fight and watch the show. Excellent, excellent! At last, Lord Archibald, Life's Bane, shall have his revenge. But I hesitate. No, I can't do it. Even for all he has done, I cannot strike my own brother. A Life's Bane should never be the bane of another's Life's Bane life. What? Okay. Wow, that's a great quote, sir. You should write that down. I'd use a coffee mug with that on it. Oh my god. We all know you would, Dave. But anyway, boss, if you don't kill him, what do you do? Okay. I cast Cage of Lightning on his beastly form, locking him in place. I'm sorry, my comrades, but this is the best I can do. Someone else must strike the final blow, but I must leave it to fate to decide his, fate. And by fate, I of course mean... Oh my god. One by one, everyone turns to look at me. Ah, crap, not again. Okay, sure, just give me a second. I frown and flip through my rule book. I was surprisingly humble of Lord Bedlam, but I don't know who should go next. Deciding by turn wouldn't be fair, and a roll feels wrong under these circumstances. Just pick yourself, Stanley. I'm sure you'll make the right decision. Yeah, I trust you, buddy. Just think what your supervisor would do. Oh my god. Oh, okay. If you guys think that's fair, I'm cool with it. No pressure, Stan. We won't hold a grudge, right? Mm-hmm. Dave murmurs something non-committal, and Scorpion lets out a judgmental sound. Definitely does not sound like grudges are off the table. Oh well, no sense in putting it off. Alright, the person who gets the first try at dealing with the final blow is... Shit. You know what? Dave, you need to do something for this party, for once in your life. So I'm gonna pick Dave. Dave of the Dave clan, you're up. Oh my gosh, really? Wow, what an honor. I won't let you down, Lord Bedlam. Yes, I'm sure you won't let Lord Archibald down. I have faith in you, comrade. Right, yeah, faith. Faith is great. I need lots of that. Okay. Right, faith, of course. Okay, I raise my staff high in the air and let it go. What? This is going to be a production, isn't it? Yes, it is. Isn't it wonderful? As my staff falls to the ground, I fall to my knees and put my hands together and pray. What the? Hi, Lord Youngwith. It's me, Dave. You know, Dave of the Dave clan. Your humble servant and magic cleric guy. Thing is, Lord Youngwith, sir, the mighty and unknowable master of mysterious things, I need your help. I need your help! Not like your usual help, which is awesome, more like direct, holy wrath kind of help. I'm talking about the big guns. Maybe that's a bit rude of me. Before that, I should probably thank you for all the times you helped me with your mysterious unknowableness. along with this mysterious and unknowable journey. I feel like I definitely know this journey, having been on it and all. Just roll with it. First, thank you for that bounty of cola at the tavern. That hit the spot. And thank you for the gold we found on the goblins outside of town, and the potion of healing we found on the next group of goblins. And you hear Youngwith call to you. He says that you're welcome for every loot drop you got on this journey, and that you don't need to thank him for every single one. But he says it in a very enigmatic way. Oh, well, great! Well, in that case, mighty Youngwith, can you smite this dragon for us? He's been a pretty big jerk, and I appreciate it if you could laser him in the face, please. Thanks. Oh my god. Youngwith appreciates your polite but disorganized prayer, so at his command, the heavens open and a giant laser shoots down through the palace roof. But you're not sure how because it's a very mysterious laser. The laser hits the dragon on the face and you think you can hear him cry out. And he knows something about Youngwith before his head explodes. Huh? Then he falls to the ground, dead, and there's nothing mysterious about that. And on that note, that concludes tonight's Spells and Swords adventure. I don't think I've ever gotten that far with a brand new party before. Nice job. Aw, it's over? Well, yeah. You defeated the dragon / Lord Archibald's long-lost brother, and that's it. Not really much more... Oh my god. Not really much else to do. Nonsense. There's always more to do. The tireless work of Lord Bedlam is never done, or Lord Wolfsbane for that matter. Why, I have a whole country to get in order. They're like over-identifying with their lives. To like, oh my gosh, it's just affecting the way they're playing. Yeah, Stan, he's got a whole country to worry about. That's plenty. As a squad supervisor, I would know how tough that is. A country is at least 6 or 7 squads worth of people. Maybe 8. So, you want an epilogue or something? Yeah, an epilogue. That's perfect, I think. Yes, an epilogue would do nicely. The legend of Lord Archibald Lifesbane deserves to be wrapped up with grace and aplomb. Wouldn't you all agree? Aplomb? I don't know how to say it. Sure. After all, the Dark Paladin's brooding is never done. It is infinite, like the black pit in the depths of my soul. I have other matters to attend to, but if all of you are staying... Oh, it's okay, ma'am. If you need to take notes, I could forward them to you in the morning. So eager to be rid of me. No, of course not, ma'am. I was just... trying to be dutiful, I know. A kind gesture, but misguided. It's not the game I'd be taking notes on, but the players. I glance between the two women for a moment. I feel like I've missed some subtext here, but there's been a weird tension between those two all night, but I can't pin it down. Well, if you're all staying, then I guess I might as well continue from where I left off. Alright, you're all still in the throne room. And so, as we continue on, playing until late into the night. I don't have much of a plan, and there isn't enough time to create another sprawling adventure, but no one seems to mind. When Madame Scorpion and Lord Bedlam showed up, I thought things would be awkward and claustrophobic, but it's actually been one of the more entertaining one-shot SNS sessions I've ever had. Sure, every now and then there would be real fear that Scorpion was about to decapitate someone, but hey, that's how this whole henchman thing goes, isn't it? And you know, some nights, it's not really so bad. Could really have used that extra cash, though. Do-do-do-do-do. Finite crisis. Okay, I'm gonna save... Maybe save it here? Oh. Okay. Let's... maybe go to home. I did save it, though. Come on. That's fine. Okay. Now I'm gonna load the other issue 5, where I decided to actually just take the job instead of having the game night. Alright. I walk through the halls, going against the grain of the usual game night traffic. A short while later, I step into the hallway, bag in tow. While the halls aren't jam-packed, there are definitely more people than normal, heading off to take part in one game or another. The main hall will have the most people, playing on cheap card tables surrounded by a sea of plastic folding chairs. And that's where we hold any tournaments or contests, and it's also where Lord Bedlam's usually found. I already hear a cheer from that direction, as if to remind me of all the fun I won't be having tonight, but that's okay. If you make enough money, you can just buy fun whenever you want, right? The further I walk, the fewer people I see. There's little in this direction besides the main entrance, so all I expect to find are a few unlucky souls that drew guard duty tonight, like that woman up ahead. Already slacking off by the looks of it, just leaning against the wall like she's waiting for someone... Wait. Kate? What are you doing here? What's it look like, waiting for you? I saw you took that gig. And what do you know? My schedule's suddenly free. Huh? Yeah, sorry about that, honestly. I told you not to sweat it. Damn, she's mad at me. And this one. Besides, you were upfront about it. Can't ask for more than that. I can still feel bad, though. If that's your prerogative. But really, it's no big deal. You still rank below that kid that ditched me at my freshman semi-formal on the list of guys who left me hanging. What'd you do to him? Let's just say that when I took apart my first engine. Wait. Let's just say that was when I took apart my first engine. Now, come on. We can't be late for dust off. Huh? Wait, is she coming to the job with me? I'm confused. Kate starts walking down the hall, and I'm quick to follow. After I've caught up, I match her pace and shoot her a quizzical glance. How'd you beat me here anyway? It's a long walk from the living quarters. I was in the area. Doing what? Alright, I was lost, okay? I'd been looking for the game room for half an hour when you texted, so I figured I may as well stay put. Alright. She's definitely stalking me. She didn't look like someone who had been lost, but I don't press on any further. So, find out any more details about this gig? Not really. I expect the queen bee herself to be part of it. Just smells like one of hers. You mean Scorpion? Does she tag along a lot on these things? No, just occasionally, but there's a pattern to it. It's usually... well, it's hard to explain. Just a hunch, I guess. I scratch my chin as I ponder her explanation, or rather lack thereof. Just a hunch, huh? However, before I can ask what she's meant by that, I find myself interrupted. James, what the fuck is this? Hold it there, you two. Let's see some ID. Chop chop! I stop and look up to find a similar scowl peering at me. Or a familiar scowl. peering at me from behind the window of a security checkpoint. James, the gate supervisor, must have been lost in thought. Looks like we reached the main entrance already. Oh, hey James, we're just headed out for a bit. Mind opening the gate for us? Oh, just like that, huh? I'm just supposed to open the gate for you and you waltz on through? Damn, chill. Is that not how gates work? Should we do a different kind of dance or something to go through or something? That type of dance isn't the point. The nerve of rookies these days. This gate is under my jurisdiction. I determine who gets in and who gets out. You could say I control the lifeline for the whole fortress. Oh, shut up. You could say that, except you're not actually allowed to stop anyone who works for Lord Bedlam from coming in or going, remember? We've been through this, dude. Complaints were filed, HR got involved. Just open the gate, man. Don't make a whole thing out of it. Grumbling the entire way, oh my god, James trudges to the gate controls and pulls the lever, letting the gates open with a groan. Sorry, the train noises are distracting. Living in the city, you know. Alright, you're clear to proceed, but mark my own words, Stan. One day you'll need to get through, and I'll be allowed to stop you. One day, it'll be the gate supervisor's time to shine. One day... Shut up. That day's never going to come, is it? Oh, absolutely not. With our path clear, we make it through the open gate and into the natural caverns beyond. The words, one day, echoing... Oh my god, he's still going off. One day! Echoing off the walls even as the gate closes in our wake. After another hike through a series of tunnels, we finally emerge into the wilderness, where we're greeted by the painfully bright light of the late afternoon sun. Oh, I thought this was like a night gig. Guess I was wrong. I'm glad we got off of work early today. I hate coming out here at night. The trip back's gonna suck. I can feel the poison ivy on my uniform already. This way. I know the spot they're using. It's not long before we reach our destination. A small clearing with a large mossy stump in the middle and a small babbling creek just before the far tree line. No one else appears to be here. Oh, wait, no one else appears to be here, so I saunter up to the stump and take a seat. I check my phone. A full minute ahead of schedule. Nothing to worry about. So why does Kate look so tense? Don't worry, James won't lock us out. He talks a big game, but that's all it is. No, it's not that. I frown, confused. It's not dark yet, and no one ever comes in these woods except Bedlam's henchmen, so I'm not sure why she'd be nervous. The most dangerous thing you'd find out here is skunk, or maybe a... Cutting it a little close, aren't we? Oh, shit. I jump and whirl around at the source of the noise just in time to see Madame Scorpion step out from the shadows, like a lioness emerging from the undergrowth. Oh shit. When she stalks forward, she barely makes a sound, and her footing is never in doubt, despite the uneven ground. Somewhere in the depths of my primal lizard brain, my fight-or-flight reflex is triggered, and I hear a voice scream to me to run instead. I cough to clear out the lump in my throat and offer a sloppy salute. Close only counts in horseshoes, hand grenades, and orbital doomsday lasers, ma'am. I wouldn't know for sure since we never had either of those last two, but it seems like a safe bet. You're not missing out. Orbital weaponry is overrated, easily identified, and easily dismantled. Just ask Dr. Calamity. Scorpion chuckles to herself and shakes her head at a joke that we're not privy to, before her eyes flash to Kate. I'm surprised to see that you've brought company, Stanley. I don't recall my invitation including a +1. Oh shit, is she mad? She mad that Kate's here? Oh my god, they're gonna fight over- No, just kidding. Kate offers a crisp salute without a flinch. Ma'am, sorry if I'm intruding. I just saw the gig on the app and... I'm speaking to Stanley. If I require your input, I will request it. Damn, she's mean. Her eyes linger on Kate's still present name tag. Kate, is that understood? This time Kate stays silent, merely nodding in understanding. Scorpion appraises her for a moment more before turning her gaze to me. Hastily, I rise from my seat and offer a decidedly less crisp salute. Now, Stanley, explain yourself. Why is she here with you? She followed me. No, just kidding. I want her here. Why are any of us here? Fuck. Oh, how do I, like, not make either of them mad at me? Why are any of us here? I don't know. Why are any of us here? Was it predestined or just some great cosmic fluke? Are we part of a grand design or cold, uncaring map? If you put a cat in a box... Enough, Stanley. Tell me you are so incessantly glib by choice. Or tell me, are you so incessantly glib by choice, or is it some deep-seated Pavlovian response? Well, now you're getting into human nature, and while it might seem similar to the subject of free will, let me tell you, it's a whole different ballgame. Oh my god, I'm gonna get fired. I suppose I only have myself to blame for that one. Well, at least you seem confident, if nothing else. Can one ever be confident of anything in this mysterious, ever-changing universe? I'm quite confident that you'll be silent, or that you'll finally be silent if I slice off that jaw. But we can test that if you'd wish. Uh-oh. Okay, that's an admittedly good example. With that, I keep my lips sealed, and Scorpion turns her attention back to Kate. Is she gonna shoo her away? Or is she gonna let her come with? I hope you have a better answer than that for me. I just saw it on the app and decided to sign up last minute, ma'am. Should there have been a warning screen or something? No, but... This job was supposed to be oh my god. This job was supposed to be marked... Oh my god. Why can't I read? This job was supposed to have been marked as exclusive. Only certain users should have been able to see it. So, Kate, are you certain that you signed up for this job in particular? Yes, ma'am. Here, I'll pull it up. Kate unlocks her phone and holds it out to Scorpion, who takes it without hesitation. After examining the screen, the supervillain frowns and hands her phone back to Kate. Odd. It's either a bug, or someone on our live team needs to remember just who they're working for. You shouldn't have been able to see that. You're one of ours, correct? How long have you been with the program? A few months, ma'am. This is my 3rd gig. First long term. Sorry about the mistake. I didn't even know the app had exclusive jobs. Me either. That's why you're doing this whole closed beta thing, though, isn't it? To test all the features? And that's one of the goals, yes. Well, assuming you don't botch the job and get yourself captured, I expect you to file a bug report before morning. Understood? Absolutely, ma'am. Scorpion looks like she's about to inquire further, but before she can, we're interrupted by the sound of helicopter blades, rapidly growing louder. Our eyes turn to the sky, and soon enough, a jet-black helicopter soars into view, flying as low as it can without touching the treetops below. It slows and comes to a halt above the clearing. I step back to give it room, but there's no need. as a rope ladder soon falls down from the side of the vehicle. Nervously, I look up at the helicopter, measuring the distance in my head. Physical activity already? This job is really gonna be dangerous. Over half a minute late. Clearly used to this, Scorpion strides over to the ladder and looks back at us expectantly. Well, we're already half a minute behind schedule. Stanley, let's not make it worse, Right, sorry, just stretching. But you're standing still. Emotions need stretching too, alright, Kate? Reluctantly, I walk up to the ladder. I take a breath and begin to climb. Fortunately, aside from one moment near the top where I accidentally looked down, actually it wasn't that bad. Soon enough, I'm seated inside the helicopter with a dozen other henchmen in nearly as many different uniforms. Kate soon follows, and Madame Scorpion literally leaps up from the ladder afterwards. While it's nothing going one-on-one with Miss Dynamo, the move was so effortless that it makes me wonder about Scorpion's powers. She clearly has some, but do they go beyond her obvious physical abilities? If she was really the top assassin in a world filled with super villains, surely there's more to it than that, right? Maybe this job is where I'll find out. Though if it is, that probably means that we're in serious danger. She plays things so close to the vest that I can't imagine her revealing her full arsenal unless she has to. So on second thought, maybe some mysteries aren't meant to be solved. All accounted for. Pilot, take us to the next rendezvous point. Kid and I hurry to strap in as the pilot compiles. Right? Yeah, complies, oh my god, with Madame Scorpion's order. For her part, the supervillain merely grabs a handhold and plants her feet, unperturbed by the swaying of the helicopter. As we ride towards our destination, the sun starts to slip beneath the horizon, and the city fades into view. Not long after that, our helicopter sets down in a small field near the city limits, and we pile into a van. Was wondering when we'd make a switch like that. Something like a helicopter is bound to attract attention, as we found out on Wednesday, and this job seems a lot more subtle than Lord Bedlam's usual fare. In Super Ants? Capital gains for your collateral damage. Oh yeah, I think we read that, we saw that last time, like in the opening scene, I think. Masks and more. Justice Burger. What is that? Pho? Q? Carl? You probably don't know what I'm referring to, but it's the sign on the right hand side. I don't know if you can see my arrow. I don't know who I'm talking to, whoever's watching this in the future. But it says, because it's pho, right? It's not faux. Pho, and then Q, like being in a queue. And it says Carl. Who's Carl? And why are we saying fuck you to him? Anyway, by the time we pile out of the van and into the abandoned parking lot that's apparently our destination, the last shreds of dusk are gone, and the night is lit only by the moon and the city's bright neon lights. And here we are. Now, I know this might be a bit of a foreign concept to some of you, but while we're exposed, let's keep a low profile, shall we? That means minimal chatter, understood. She explicitly holds her gaze on me for a moment while she says the last part, and Kate, standing next to me, lightly elbows me in the side. What? I think you know. Now then, all surveillance cameras along our designated route have been disabled, so don't stray from it. We'll go up the fire escape there, directly west along the rooftops, and enter the 4th building via roof access. Well, get moving. Yes, ma'am. The other henchmen scrambled towards the fire escape like a frantic conga line of brightly colored candies. Kate and I start to follow at a less panicked pace. However, I see that Madame Scorpion has started walking in another direction entirely. Perceptive as always, she doesn't fail to notice my stare, and turns to face me, eyebrow raised with indignation. Yes, Stanley? Do you have a question? You said you turned off the cameras. How did you do that exactly? An insightful query. Perhaps too insightful for your own good, darling. Do you really think someone of my stature wouldn't know how to deal with a few cameras? I guess not, but... I trail off, not daring to finish that thought, pointing out that she didn't answer my question is more likely to earn her ire than an answer. Luckily, Kate takes my hesitation as an opportunity to step in. We're just impressed, that's all, ma'am. You run a tight ship. Scorpion doesn't look the least bit flattered as she turns her critical eye on the shorter woman, looking her up and down. I do indeed, and that means you'd better stop stalling and get up the fire escape, don't you agree? Right away, ma'am. Come on, let's get to climbing. Kate gives me a light rap on the shoulder and a reassuring smile, and I mouth thank you in return. Not that everyone would risk Scorpion's wrath to help me out like that. Even though we pace ourselves, the climb up the fire escape is long, and I find myself a little winded by the time we reach the top. Damn, we're not even to the hard part, and there's already been so much work. Luckily, the henchmen ahead of us didn't do as good a job at pacing themselves, so catching up is easy. Not that Kate would have had any trouble going a little faster. She barely seems warmed up after that. Hey, slow down, we're not in a rush. What's the matter? Winded already? All we've done is climb some stairs. Come on, man. No. Well, that too, but that's not the point. Once we catch up, we'll get past these guys in the back, but don't get too close to the front, alright? Trust me. Why? Is that your plan to get out of doing the hard work, or are you still worried about the cameras? No, not that. I believe Scorpion when she says they're off. That's genuine curiosity. For an isolated operation, cutting the cameras doesn't sound too crazy, but she does this for every gig on the app? I know it's a digital age and all that, but it still doesn't seem like something that a person should be able to just do with a snap of their fingers. No, you're right. Well, I have my theories. I'm kind of surprised you latched onto that detail. I'll try to take that as a compliment. But all that aside, just trust me on this. The front and the rear are always the worst places to be in any team larger than a dozen. The guys in the rear have it the worst because that's where the superheroes usually show up, and the guys in the front deal the in-house security. But the guys in the middle, they usually make it. Are we gonna make it though? We'll see. Well, unless it's just a big mess and everyone has to scatter, but I doubt that'll happen with Scorpion overseeing this in person. Oh, yeah, that's good thinking. I never really thought of it like that. As we catch up to the others, we casually slip past the guys taking up the rear and meld with the middle of the pack. I glance down at Kate and offer a thumbs up, which she returns along with an uneasy smile. Our patchwork team of mercenary henchmen is quite the odd sight. A mob of multicolored goons hopping along the rooftops. But with the cameras gone and the adjacent buildings either too short or abandoned, there's no need to appreciate the show. Or there's no one to appreciate the show. No one in the gaggle of henchmen seems to be particularly enthusiastic about it either. None of us know each other. Hell, I don't even recognize most of these uniforms. And everyone took Scorpion's line about minimizing chatter to heart. It's a weird vibe. We're technically a team, but not really. Eventually, we reach the target rooftop. The guys in the front are both wearing green and gold uniforms. And they're either young or cocky because they walk right up to the roof access door and pull it open. I let out a sigh of relief. So far, so good. Still, as our point men start down the stairwell, Kate and I make sure to maintain a safe distance. Something's waiting for us down there. I just have a feeling. Oh, it's like a server building or something. The stairwell from the roof is short, only meant to connect it to the top level, so it's not long before our little band of misfit henchmen enters the facility proper. Someone lets out a whistle, as our green-clad point men open the door, and while he was quickly shushed, I have to agree with the sentiment. What awaits us is impressive. I'm not all that tech-savvy, but my guess is that it's some kind of server room. Rows and rows of uniform machines hum quietly in the darkness, glowing from the light of their blinking LEDs. A server farm? That makes sense. You guys were on the data heist for your last operation too, right? Yeah, we were. You figured that's what we're after here too? It would fit. Scorpion doesn't do things randomly. I nod in agreement. But before we can discuss anything further, our vanguard is waving for us to move, and the whole group starts creeping slowly forward. The rows make it a tight squeeze, even for two people to stand shoulder to shoulder. It's like a futuristic library in here. I glance at Kate and find her looking back at me. Jaw set, I nod, equally tense. This would be a bad spot to run into that trouble I'm expecting, which of course means... Guys, flashlight, 10 o'clock, guys! I turn my head and immediately see it, fading and growing brighter as it passes between the aisles. Unfortunately, the green and gold duo in front doesn't. Not until they step out into the next aisle and right into its path. Immediately, the guard lets out a shout, and while the green henchmen reach for their weapons, the guard is faster on the draw. Uh-oh. A sharp electric crackle cuts through the air, and a heartbeat later, both henchmen fall to the floor, twitching violently as sparks run across their uniforms. Already, the other henchmen are scrambling every which way, any sense of discipline shattering almost immediately. This is about to go sideways real fast. Kate rushes to grab the nearest of our would-be teammates, trying to keep them from scattering. Hey, get back here! We need to stay organized! It causes some of them to hesitate, but not for long. If I help, maybe we could convince everyone to stick together and find a way out of this. On the other hand, if we just let them run around like a bunch of idiots, they could make for a nice distraction. That's why we didn't take the lead after all. Whatever I do, I need to decide quickly. I'm gonna use the team as a distraction. I reach out and lightly grab Kate's shoulder. Distracted, she loses her own grip on the henchman she was trying to wrangle. It's too late. They've lost it. That's why we stayed in the middle of the group, remember? But if they don't get together... Sorry. This whole thing is done for. No, they're done for. This whole thing keeps going with or without them. You think Scorpion's gonna bat an eye when she sees that half these guys are missing? No, she definitely won't. Exactly, so we might as well take advantage of the distraction to make sure that we're in the half that makes it. Damn. That's exactly what I was gonna say. Alright, fine, I guess we're playing this cutthroat style. So we have our distraction. What do you want to do with it? We need to go on the offensive? I don't know. We need to go on the offensive. If we pick our spot, we can tip the scales in our favor without too much risk. So you want to swoop in and steal all the glory, basically. I'd hardly call it glory, but hey, we get paid based on how well we perform, right? So if we end the fight and look good in the process, well, that's a win-win in my book. You're sure new at this app. Wait, you sure you're new at this app? You seem to have already figured out how to crush the competition. Nah, I'm just lazy. I find the easiest path to success and I take it. Which in this situation should be right over there. Kate points to a pair of guards Kate points to a pair of guards who just entered the room and are running against the fray. Those two. They've caught tunnel vision. It's cutting the enemy off from reinforcements and is critical in this situation. Damn, I'm getting sleepy. This is what happens when you stream from bed. Because I don't have a desk right now. I raise an eyebrow. Wait. I'm playing in bed. I'm not streaming. This is not a stream. But hopefully when I get my new headset, you know, I'll get back to some streaming. Maybe. She sure switched to tactical mode on a dime. Seems out of character for Kate, but then how well do I know her? Okay, you got it. General Patton. I'll cut them off, and you flank them. Sound good? Sounds good. With a final nod confirmation, I pull out my baton and move to intercept the unsuspecting guards before they can join the fight. Baton in hand, I jog forward through the endless rows of servers, lights whizzing through the corner of my vision in a blur, though I make sure to conserve my energy. And it's a good thing I do, because as I round the corner, I come face to face with a pair of guards. Luckily, the chaos from the other henchmen running around like headless chickens distracts the farther off of the pair. And he leaves to try to chase them down. As he turns out of view, I see a short purple blur chase after him. Damn, Kate can really move. A similar scene plays out with the other guards in the distance. It's like one of those cartoon chase scenes where people keep running in and out of doors in a single hallway, but with way more people and way less dignity. And that just leaves me with one guard to deal with. Okay, I can handle one. Alright, you can either walk away or... Is it a superhero? Or charge at me like a maniac. Apparently, I managed to give him a good whack on the shoulder as he rushes me, but his other hand still manages to reach out and grab a fistful of my uniform. Before I can react, we're both colliding with a rack of servers and he's clawing at my face. Hey! What the hell, dude? We both look so stupid. What? I punctuate? Okay. I punctuate each word with a swing of my baton, smacking the guard on the back. Jesus, what kind of security firm did this place hire? The bludgeoning loosens his grip, and I manage to push him off of me. Quickly, I step back to gain some distance. Okay, you asked for it. I raise my baton and prepare to charge, but pause when I see movement out of the corner of my eye. Is someone hopping on top of the server racks like a ninja? No, not just someone, it's Kate. Dang. I guess she's pretty cool, huh? In 2 strides, she leaps onto the adjacent row of servers. With a third, she sends the sole of her foot careening towards the guard's chest with a flying kick. Dang. She does got the moves. The wind is immediately knocked out of my assailant, and he stumbles backwards until he literally bounces off another server. By then, Kate has landed, and is there not only to catch him before he collides with the floor, but immediately turn that into an armbar. Damn. I was teeing that one up for you. I could tell. With some effort, Kate pulls a zip tie out of her belt and secures the guard's wrist with one of the server racks. Her foe subdued, she twirls out the armbar, swipes the man's taser, and fires it just past my shoulder. I whirl around to find a second guard already falling to the ground, convulsing from his coworker's own weapon. I feel like she should have chosen Kate rather than me, my character, Stan. Because I suck. Clearly, Kate knows her stuff. That one was all me, though. I turn back to offer a snide remark, only to find a third guard running towards Kate from behind. Lacking any kind of projectile, I run forward and dive into a baseball slide, swinging my baton at the man's shin. Did I do a good job? Did I do it? It connects, and he trips forward, yelping in pain. Meanwhile, I scramble back to my feet, fumbling with my baton. Where the hell was that shock switch? Oh, there it is! A jolt of electricity surges from the end of the baton, and a moment later, the guard lies unconscious. And that was all me, so we're totally even. As long as we're not counting style points. Oh, we definitely are. Now, come on, let's wrap this up. Thanks to the distraction provided by the other henchmen, and Kate's secret ninja skills, and Kate's secret ninja skills. Maybe I'm hungry too, I don't know. That doesn't take long. There aren't many of our merry band left afterwards, but we're in the clear. I feel my phone buzz. Pulling it out from my belt reveals that it's a notification from the Henchman app. And judging by the reaction of those around me, we all got it. North stairwell, down 3 floors. I look at Kate and she shrugs. Better do what it says. Finding the way down doesn't take long, though we double and triple check our corners before entering. Getting caught in a cramped stairwell could be bad news, considering our losses already. Our caution slows our pace to a crawl. But fortunately, it's an uneventful descent. Soon enough, we open the stairwell door to find more servers? Is this whole building filled with them? I don't doubt it. Classic Madame Scorpion target. But what's this place doing in the middle of the city? The only places with this much sensitive data that I know are intentionally isolated. Wait, you've been to one of these places before? Before Kate can answer, a metal clanging sound echoes across the room, and we turn to find a severed metal limb to roll. Oh my god. We turn to find a severed metal limb roll to a stop a dozen meters away. Oh my god, I can't read. Don't be frightened. It can't hurt you. With a swagger that your garden variety egomaniac could only dream of, Scorpion saunters into view, holding her energy sword in one hand and what appears to be a decapitated robot head in the other. What have you done? A black duffel bag is slung over her shoulder. Oh shit, I accidentally skipped that. Whatever. With a wide grin, she holds the sparking robot skull up to eye level, like she's a cyberpunk rendition of Hamlet. Isn't that right, my friend? Yes. You and all your ilk aren't a threat to anyone right now, are you? Out of a sense of morbid curiosity, I dare to peer around the corner, even braced for a scene of carnage. The sight is disturbing. A pile of mangled robot parts flows across several of the aisles. What the fuck did she do? Twisted metal limbs and metal barrels. Oh my god. And weapon barrels protrude from the heap. And oil pools like blood across the tiles. Damn. Scorpion's done more than just destroyed them. She's diced them to bits. But we can't just have them lying around like that, can we? It's unsightly. So Stanley, darling, you're coming with me, but the rest of you... She tosses the duffel bag to the ground. Your next task isn't there. The other henchmen just stare at the bag nervously, all but Kate, who's looking at me. Hey, be careful. That never seems to help. Relax. I'm her favorite. You too. Kate smiles and wraps her knuckles against my shoulder. With that, my peer steps forward, offering Scorpion a salute before kneeling down and opening the bag, revealing cleaning supplies? I guess she wants to literally scrub the place of evidence. Glad I'm getting out of that. With an apologetic shrug, I rush to catch up with the supervillain's long, graceful strides. Thanks for choosing me, ma'am. For, whatever this is, I appreciate it. Don't bother. Your ability to shirk any duties related to manual labor simply makes you more useful to me here, nothing more. And I'm curious to know how the operation has gone for you so far. Oh, you know, these things, pretty routine. If you've broken into one data center, you've broken into 100. Don't play coy, Stanley. The question was largely theoretical. I know exactly how everything happened. First, you elected to stay in the middle of the group with your partner, a prudent measure, and one that quickly paid dividends as things, how to put it gently, broke down. Yet you took advantage of that confusion quite well, I must say. Any fools who lose their composure so easily are good for little else beyond a distraction in combats. Oh, and human shields, of course, but I doubt you'd have the strength to carry them around with much grace. Damn. That's not what you're bringing me along for, is it? Oh, Stanley, what an absurd question. I'd never tell you that. Deception is the key to everything, including, and especially, marital conflict. Is that what it says? Marshall? Marshall. I'm an idiot. Martial conflict. Oh my god. Which is why your little counterattack went so well. Yeah, hitting them while they were distracted definitely made it easier. And Kate was a big help too. Where'd you guys find her? She pulled out some MMA cage fighter type shit out of nowhere. So she did. I'll be sure to look up her profile. She doesn't seem like she likes her. As we talk, we move deeper into the room, passing row upon row of servers. A few beats of silence pass before a thought occurs to me. How did you know what was going on up there anyway? Were you watching? In a manner of speaking, yes. I would like to think that was obvious. But not in person, right? You couldn't have. Did it have something to do with the cameras? Persistent about that, aren't you? Very well, I'll give you a hint, but only because I like you. Yes, it has something to do with the cameras, but not in the way you think. In what other way, then? Stanley. One hint is all you get. Understood, ma'am. We continue to walk in silence for a few moments until I find my gaze lingering on the severed robot head the Scorpion is carrying. Can I ask a totally different question, though? You may, so long as you're prepared for the answer. Sure. Look, it seems pretty clear that you didn't need help with this job, so why bring us all along at all? Need? No, of course not. I don't need anyone. People are more of a luxury good. They can make things go faster, more smoothly. Like with the cleanup? Yes, exactly. And those that didn't make it past the upper floor played their part as well, drawing guards, creating a mess that's just waiting to be found. Whoever finds that will surely assume that my target was on that floor, and why not? The company who stores their data there is a weapons manufacturer after all. The perfect red herring, don't you think? But what you're after is here instead? Precisely, and when our friends have cleaned up the mess, no one will suspect I was here. Among terabytes of private data scraped from the corners of the internet. So, while some hero or agency spends weeks chasing down a fake lead, any trace of the true theft will have disappeared. She turns to me with a devious grin and winks. I cough into my hand and avert my eyes, wilting under her gaze. You're bashful all of a sudden? What happened to that bold charm? I locked it away at your request, I might add. Such a good listener, but I hope you didn't throw away the key. Boldness does have its place. I'll keep that in mind. I cough again, but it does nothing to get rid of the heat I feel in my cheeks. By now, we've passed the last rows of servers, and reached the very edge of the room. A thick metal security door stands before us, controlled by a keypad. Hold on to this for me, darling. Without bothering for confirmation, Scorpion shoves the hilt of her beam saber into my hands. Though I fumble it for a second, I quickly gain control and immediately lock it into a two-handed death grip. Meanwhile, the supervillain just puts her free hand on the keypad and closes her eyes. Out of the corner of my eye, I see her grip tighten on the robot head, causing the metal to squeal in protest. Goddamn! Soon enough, the keypad turns green and I hear the sound of the door's locks disengaging. How did she do that? I think back to my question about how she saw what happened on the top floor. There's definitely a connection there, but what is it? Or is this yet another juicy red herring? I wouldn't put it past her. Screwing with people seems to be her favorite pastime and clearly in her crosshairs. In fact, when her eyes open and turn in my direction, that's exactly what they look like, crosshairs. Now, Stanley. She removes her hand from the security panel and slowly reaches towards me, smiling in a way that is equal parts alluring and foreboding. Even though I've seen it before, I can't help but find it unnerving. With a self-satisfied hum, she plucks the hilt from her weapon, of her weapon from my hands. Would you kindly step through that door? I like the view better out here. No thanks. Sure thing. Whatever. Oof, that's a doozy of an assignment, but sure thing. I'll do my best to gut it out. There's probably a catch, but there's no way it's worse than cleaning up robo-giblets. So without hesitation, I reach for the door handle and open it. Though I can hear the humming of the machinery and make out the stray blinking light for the most part, the room is pitch black. Luckily, I have a flashlight in my belt. Now, let's see. I step forward into the room. Even as I start rummaging through my equipment, by the third pouch, I've found it. There we go. With a click of the oh my god. With a click, the flashlight turns on, just in time to illuminate the giant robot activating right in front of me. What the f- Oh, shit. How could she do this to me? Glowing red eyes and a host of other threatening-looking lights suddenly come to life as a giant metal death machine rises to its feet. All 4 of them. Huh? 4 feet? Why did it need 4 feet? And why does it need to be like 3 meters tall? And why does it need all those guns? Oh, right. The guns. Shit! I scramble to the side, desperately searching for cover. Out of the corner of my eye, I can see the robot's weapons tracking me. I'm not going fast enough, though. But someone else does. Thank you, Stanley. Hmm? In a blur of black and red, Madame Scorpion streaks into view before the deadly machine can open fire, and while it quickly turns to face this clearly more imminent threat, by then it's too late. Scorpion's blade moves so fast that it looks like a continuous streak of light, painting a crisscrossing pattern of crimson across the machine's hulking form until it's practically covered in glowing crosshatches. As the pattern fades, the quadrupedal titan groans. Okay. Oh, okay, I gotcha. Sounds like a robot dog. And then all at once collapses into a heap, oh my god, of minced plating and shattered circuitry. There isn't a limb or a weapon barrel left intact. Okay, so what was the point of that? She could have just gone in by herself. Why does she need me to do it? As the robot's bolts and shredded bits of armor plating roll around the floor, Madame Scorpion steps out from the darkness, tinkering with a knob on her weapon's hilt. The frequency was a little off. Those cuts should have been much cleaner. With a flourish, she deactivates the energy blade and returns the hilt to her hip. Only then does she acknowledge me with a smile that seems even more dangerous than usual now that it's obscured in shadow. But you're an excellent distraction, Stanley. Oh, she was using me. Damn it. Thanks, but why did you even need one? They kept this unit from connecting with the main network to mask its presence. Not the first time I've seen that trick, so I wanted to be sure that I wasn't walking into anything. So they had a super secret robot just sitting there, specifically to guard this room? What exactly is hidden in this data that you're after? Hidden? Why, nothing at all. Just mundane details gathered from insignificant individuals. Seriously? All this for some mundane details? Individually mundane, but together, as precious as gold. You'll understand soon enough, but for now... The sound of approaching footsteps interrupts Scorpion's order, and by the time I run to find their source, Kate is standing in the doorway, breathing hard. Ma'am, we heard a commotion from over here. Do you need any assistance? For a second, it looks like she's about to ask a follow-up question, but that fades as soon as her head turns in my direction. Well, at least someone here is concerned about my well-being. Not urgently, so no. Is the cleanup complete? Just about. The others should have it wrapped up momentarily. It was a struggle with the few hands we have remaining, but we got it done. Very well, then help Stanley with this last one. Don't leave a trace behind. Yes, ma'am. As Kate reaches over to help, Scorpion walks deeper into the room, starting to disappear into the darkness. After a few steps, she gives pause and leers over at me over her shoulder, her face half covered in the shadow. What? What? She didn't like that I went in? But, damn it, I can never please her, huh? That was unexpectedly naive, Stanley. Don't disappoint me again. The fuck? I swallowed the lump that's formed in my throat and nod. At that, Scorpion takes her lead, slipping into the darkness with silent steps. By now, Kate's reached my side, along with Scorpion's duffel bag of cleaning supplies. You alright? What happened? Yeah, I'm fine. I gotta use this bait, but as you can see... I gestured to the pile of scrap that used to be an 8-foot-tall death machine. Why did they use meters earlier to, like, describe this robot's height? Interesting. Kate nods in understanding and offers me a pat on the back. Well, I'm glad it's lying there and not you. She gets closer and I can finally make out the details of her face through the darkness. There's blood on her lip and a small tear in her mask. Wait, you're bleeding. What happened? Oh, that? Yeah, we ran into a straggler. Wait. I think its pathing got messed up on the way here, so it was slow to respond to our employer's little mess. I took care of it, though. No big deal. Really? After what I saw, anything that could take you on must be at least a little bit of a big deal. Oh, come on. Taking out some underpaid night shift muscle isn't much of a threat or feat. I know a few moves. That's it. But seriously, I just got a little careless. I'll ice it when I get back. Now, come on. Let's get this sucker in the dustbin. I think I like the part where we didn't take the job. She's just never happy with me. A few minutes later, I'm hurtling through the air, clinging to a zip line for dear life. Why a zip line? I asked the same thing. Scorpion said it was yet another red herring, but I think she just wanted to see if I'd scream. Well, too bad for her. I managed to avoid any and all squeals, yelps, or shrieks as I careened towards the parking lot. Although my landing is hardly dignified. The momentum from the zip line carries me forward after I touch down, and I flail wildly before gracelessly falling to the asphalt. Yep, that's me. Bumbling and clumsy. What was wrong with the fire escape? I turn to find the supervillain standing over me. having stuck her own landing without flinching. Not surprising. She could have probably jumped out the window and landed unscathed, honestly. Nothing at all, it's just another sign that we're focused on the top floor. Misdirection, Stanley, remember? Right. I start to scrape myself off the ground, but when I reach my knees, I find a purple glove held out in my direction. Aww, it's Kate. She's so nice. And here I thought you had the agility of a panther. 2 panthers. They're heavy animals, okay? Sure. Clearly that zipline required a rating of 3 panthers or higher. Toss aside, I'm grateful for the help, and happily take Kate's extended hand. Once I'm back on my feet, I dust myself off, and start heading for the van. One by one, Scorpion and the remaining henchmen pile into the back of the vehicle. It's a lot less crowded this time, and some take advantage of the empty seats by stretching out. Scorpion uses one as a pedestal for the severed robot head that she acquired earlier. The trophy for her? Perhaps because she still needs it for something, but probably because she's a bloodthirsty sadist. Just before we close the doors, a shout echoes from across the parking lot. It's one of the green-clad henchmen who had taken point. Apparently, the taser wore off. Oh? Holy shit, I think he can actually make it. He could have 30 seconds ago, but not now, and you should be glad that's the case. That's one less person who gets a share of the competition's fee, or the completion fee. I suggest closing the door, Stanley. Damn. Oh, that's so mean. I look out towards the stranded henchman, desperately waving at us as he drunkenly stumbles closer. I imagine I looked just like that when I was fleeing Miss Dynamo on Wednesday, but this is Scorpion's show, plus she's right about the money. No, I'm gonna leave it open. I'm gonna save him. You could say whatever you want about me. I start to reach for the door, but do it very, very slowly. By the time I reach the handle, the green henchman has almost arrived. Whoa, sorry about that. Vision got a little hazy for a second. I think some of these robot parts smacked me in the head earlier. Looks like he's already here though, so may as well. Imagine if she kicks him out. Enough, Stanley. Your decision was already short-sighted. Don't insult my intelligence on top of it. Just know that if I were truly invested in the outcome, no amount of stalling would have kept that door open. Damn, she's ruthless. I don't doubt it, ma'am. By now, the green henchman is nearly there. He slows his pace out of a combination of relief and exhaustion and starts to utter a hoarse, heartfelt thank you. And then I hear an all too familiar sound. Oh, Miss Dynamo. Scorpion. A black and blue blur falls down from the sky like a meteor, cracking the asphalt as it lands in the parking lot. When the dust settles, it's Miss Dynamo standing in the middle of the landing zone. Well, damn, you took forever to get here. There you are. You won't get away from me this time. The green henchman spares a glance at him, or a glance behind him, jaw hanging open in shock. No, we have to go. Do you hear me? We've got to go. Stan, grab him! There's no time to even acknowledge your request. I just lean out and yank the flummoxed henchman into the van. Come on! Even as I grab hold of the man's arm, Kate is pulling something from her belt and hurling it out the door. Doors! With our wayward peer inside, Kate and I reach out and each grab a door handle. Wait, what happened to her? Oh, she must have thrown something out, like a grenade or something? As we slam them shut, a loud bang can be heard from outside, accompanied by a burst of light so bright that it leaks through the cracks around the windowless rear doors. Drive! Drive! I wasn't aware that you were in charge of this operation. But you're correct. Driver, if you please. The driver complies, and with tire screeching, the van roars out of the parking lot. For a few tense moments, everyone holds on to their seats and their breath, waiting for the other superpowered shoe to drop. But it never comes. No pursuit. How curious. That was good improvisation. Thank you, ma'am. Oh, don't thank me. The only person who should be thankful is that barbaric simpleton. The next time we cross swords, I'm prepared to kill her. Damn. Though perhaps I should amend that. Stanley, you ought to count yourself lucky as well. Right now, a decision like that just costs you money. One day, it could cost you your career. Do you understand? Yes, ma'am. I'm very grateful. Obliged, even. Though I do see your point, this is already a cutthroat business, and this app of hers only amplifies that. Even so, I couldn't just leave him behind. That was too far. I sigh and shift around in my seat, preparing to doze off. Before I can close my eyes, I feel something tapping the toe of my boot. I look up to find the culprit smiling at me, even as she taps her boots against mine once more for good measure. Thanks. I lean back in my chair and offer a thumbs up as I close my eyes, not wanting to tempt Madame Scorpion's wrath by saying anything. Kate's braver than I am, though. Braver than most people, I'd wager. I close my eyes and try not to let the rattling of the van rock me to sleep. It doesn't work. Some of the other henchmen try to start up some awkward small talk, but it doesn't work either. In the end, all we're left with is an uneasy silence, even as we pass the city limits. Okay. What the? Oh, that must be the robot head that she took from the scene of the crime. That silence carries all the way up until our pickup point, even as we drop the remaining henchmen back at their own rendezvous locations. Before I know it, it's just Madame Scorpion, Kate, and I, all alone, as we ride the helicopter back to Lord Bedlam's lair. I'm not sure anyone even offered a goodbye. Not that this was a tightly knit group or anything. Even during our brief flashes of cooperation, we weren't really a team. That was the point. We were only united in that we all wanted an extra paycheck. You might say it was more honest that way. There were no self-indulgent speeches about how we're all brothers and sisters, no empty platitudes from a supervisor who calls me buddy, but wouldn't even recommend me for a cost of living raise. If you're good enough to get the job done and make it out, you're paid well. If not, you're left in the dust. Scorpion was right. I could make a killing like this. I'm good enough to. Well, until I'm the one left in the dust. How long could I stave that off, I wonder? I watch Kate wipe blood from her lip with her knuckle. Aww. Even just one of these gigs takes a toll on people like her and I, so I'd have to play it smart. And if I did, look at Madame Scorpion, who has spent most of the ride casually examining the robot skulls she pilfered. Her thoughts are a mystery. I could never have what she has, no matter what I do. I know that, and yet she has me wondering, how close could I get? I'll never have her powers, but if I play this henchman thing right, maybe, just maybe, no. No one foot in of foot in front of the other, man. You've got some extra money in your pocket and curried a little favor with the new boss. That's good enough for now. Or it will be as soon as I can collapse in my bed. Oh, okay. Okay, so it's still, I guess it's still the same thing? Maybe? Yeah, it's still the same thing. It's just, I guess the issues were just different depending on the choice I made at that critical moment. But there's a lot of save slots, so that's nice. I already saved, so that's okay. Let me exit from there, go back here. But anyway, that was issue 4 and 5 of Henchman Story. Hopefully I could start streams back up as soon as things are more settled, meaning I have a place and I have a job. Because I'm still interviewing and hoping that someone will hire me. But some of these jobs I've been interviewing are set to pay me more than my last job. Not too much more, but definitely a decent amount more. So, yeah. If you watched this to the end, thank you for watching. If you did, drop a frog emote in the chat. Every minute that you watch my channel, it does contribute to me becoming a partner on YouTube in the future. Not that I'm necessarily aiming for that, but yeah, just as something for people to know. It's a large amount of watch time for like regular videos, or if people watch like my shorts a bunch of times, like was it 3 million or something like that, then I'm a little bit closer to becoming partner. But there's also the sub count, which I think that one's harder than meeting the watch time requirements. Anyway, that's all for me. And hopefully I can actually see people another time.